don't want to put him into. And the Niners are going to release the hounds. So my thought was, for all those out there, and I know this sounds stupid, and it is at the highest level of futility. And it's not like I'm doing a brain dance over this at all. But my thought was multi-quarterback. I don't know how else this is going to be satisfied. Unless you all of a sudden believe that it was offensively, it was Shane Steichen and the play calling that was holding back Phillip Rivers. It didn't look like that he wanted to heave it down the field very often, very much. You have such a weapon in Alec Pierce, which, outside of that drive sustainer, was put out to pasture yesterday. And I want to double back to say, by whatever means necessary. And I know, well, that means if you sub one guy out and bring the other guy in, they know what's coming. Well, they do and they don't. All right, Shane obviously and the Colts obviously, their brass believe in the Rivers decision-making. So how do you put the decision-making in those that either have not been in that decision-making space in the past or have not proven that they can make those decisions in the past, which you're going to have a couple, maybe, I guess, if Richardson, we'll follow the whole Richardson thing this week and see if that becomes any sort of reality. Because I got news for you, unless he's disgruntled or they're disgruntled or everybody's disgruntled, he's under contract. He's going to be back next year. Why wouldn't he be back next year? Riley Leonard's going to be back next year. The odd man out in the equation next year is Phillip Rivers. But you have a head coach that is going to be resigned to start him coming up on Monday night. You got to throw something at him that they're not ready for. Because let me tell you this, the Niners are going to be set and ready for what the Colts have to offer coming up on Monday. I'm not trying to describe them as the 1970s Steelers and the Steel Curtain, but, anybody can see that. It was so vanilla, the Colts offensively. And I know because you had to do it with Phillip Rivers coming back, but it was not because, he just doesn't understand the offense. Part of the reason why they brought him back was because he had a full grasp of the offense. The rationale behind treating the offense the way that they did yesterday was because the 44-year-old, like we all do, he has limitations. And against that Seahawks defense, they were ripe. That team was ripe to be beaten yesterday. And if there were a shot or two down the field that could have worked, even the threat of it, to take those guys off their mark, maybe it works out differently. But again, that whole game plan now is going to be exercised and consumed by the 49ers. So to me, you got to throw something else at them. No, I hate the idea too. I don't like it. I hate the fact that I'm saying it. But I don't know how to satisfy a lot of you out there that don't believe in Rivers and then satisfy the fact that if you're Shane Steichen and this Colts team, you have to understand that you are so limited offensively right now, and you have a team that's going to see this now for a week and be dialed in, and the Niners still firmly entrenched and playing for something significant, that is going to be a mammoth struggle. You are still out there to try to win the game. And frankly, I don't think anybody cares at this point how it looks. Would it have mattered to you yesterday if the Colts were to have beaten a Seahawks team on or a Seahawks team that had connected on 5 field goals? Of course, they hit 6 and then won the game. It wouldn't have mattered at all. Would it still have mattered? Would you still have noticed the limitations of the Colts offensively, even if they would have won? Sure you would. Hopefully you're that savvy, because that's something you have to notice. And, now's not the time, I think, to just, we're going to go ahead and lean on this guy because I trust him. Lean on anybody. I know it sounds incredibly stupid. I just don't know how else you're going to find at all any way to be able to get it down the field. There were a couple of times I just wanted to see Rivers throw it up to see if Alec Pierce could go get it. Maybe you just do this from now on. That just scared the crap out of me right there. Go, wait a minute. New studios here. Talk back in my ear. Can people hear you when you hit that talk back?
Not when they hit that one. I have an individual pod I can turn on.
I wonder, this is James in a different studio from me right now. I wonder if I have my headphones turned up so loud because I'm deaf, if they can hear you through my headphones.
That's a possibility.
It is right there. Hey, shout out to, I'm going to get back to a lot of this too, and we have time for your call. Stephen Holder's going to join us of ESPN in the 5 o'clock hour, but more than ready, willing, and able to talk with you about this. If you think I'm crazy, that's okay, but I am ready to find any solution whatsoever because I don't want to see this end this way either. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you I want to see it end this way because this may be a quicker path to get rid of those organizationally and a head coach you want to get rid of. I want to see a postseason game, and I know that it's going to take a wing and a prayer. But in the final three, what the hell, you might as well. I know you're going to say you were entertained yesterday, but there's rarely anything that is entertaining out of losing. All right, a lot more of Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor rushed the ball 25 times. He was a 3.5-yard clip. He had a long of 11. So while he got yards, it's not like that incredibly worked. I mean, it's funny. I thought Amir Abdullah played incredibly well. Then you look at his stat line, and there really isn't a lot there. But you have to have more. You have to add a layer or two of at least a threat that you didn't have yesterday, and certainly not likely to have coming up on Monday night. Fernando Mendoza is the Heisman Trophy winner. An incredible speech that I think for a college kid could motivate even the most sour and lazy-ass dudes out there. Hello. That was awesome. And those that didn't like it, you can smooch it. Seriously. I know why some didn't like it. But you guys that didn't like it are, as I like to describe here, and hopefully you're watching, a little butthole-ish. How could you not thoroughly enjoy that? I don't give a damn who you root for. Sometimes you just have to understand. AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live. How is that camera working, James? Is it solid?
It's solid right now.
Wow, look at me right here in an empty room. Nothing wrong with that. I got to put up a bunch of posters and stuff in here. What's it look like? Hey, people, go ahead inside the AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live. What do you guys think about what the room looks like? Or 317-239-1070 on the text line. I like it. I do. I was ready to get out of the downtown building. I'm going to miss my parking in the downtown building for other stuff, but I'm not going to miss that building. I'm good to go right here. Meridian and St. Joe's. I can see you if you drive by. Probably. Maybe. I can see you, I guess, if you're driving by. What is that, 10th Street right up here? I can definitely see you up there. All right, stream the app. The AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live. Your Heisman Trophy winner, Fernando Mendoza. The Pacers played awful. I don't even want to talk. They didn't want to play yesterday, so I sure as hell don't want to talk about it today. If you watched any of that, they didn't feel like playing, so I don't feel like talking about it. I think that's fair. And college hoop over the weekend. IU a loser in Kentucky. Purdue a winner at home over Marquette. And the most interesting game of the weekend at Hinkle Fieldhouse with Butler and Providence. That was awesome. That Haywood kid, by the way, shout out to that three-point make from the kid from Brebeuf. And Ajayi with a hustle move. When you get blocked by Stephon Rim trying to dunk, most of the time you pout a little bit. My man stayed at it. Led to that three. That and more. AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live. Text line 317-239-1070 and your calls at 239-1070. What would your solution be from Monday night at quarterback? That and more coming up for you. 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
It happens every holiday. Food comas, naps, piles of wrapping paper. Then Cousin John rolls in with holiday scratch-offs from the Hoosier Lottery. And just like that, the holiday fun is back in play. Hoosier Lottery, champions of play. Gift responsibly.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
I'm John here. Let me tell you about the best in plumbing. Lance and his local team at LD Smith Plumbing, 317-927-7186. And especially this time of year with the massive amounts of water, we're going to go through major melting coming up later on this week. Got to make sure your drains are clog-free, or that could compromise your situation in and around your house. That's why you call in the experts, Lance and his team at LD Smith Plumbing, to make sure you're like me. You're clog-free at 317-927-7186. Tell them I sent you online. That's ldsmithplumbing.com.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage, no medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/beat. That's ethos.com/beat.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions
FIFA
required.
World Cup 2026 is coming soon, but your opportunity to be there starts now through an exclusive offer with an eligible Bank of America Visa credit card. For a limited time, become a new customized cash rewards or unlimited cash rewards Visa credit card holder, and you will be eligible for a chance to purchase FIFA World Cup 2026 tickets. Learn more at BofA.com/cardFWC26. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be the official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America NA in partnership with Visa. Terms apply. Rights reserved.
Hey, false start on me, right? Hey, that's one thing. The offensive line looked good yesterday, but the host false starts. I just want to remind you of this, and that's why I'm in a bit of a hurry, because you should be as well. If you have not focused in on Moyer Fine Jewelers in Carmel for your engagement ring, holiday season, on bended knee ideas, I don't know what to tell you, because this is it for you. Natural diamonds, hand-selected, top quality, competitive prices. Mention my name, get $500 off your engagement ring purchase now through Christmas Eve. That's Moyer Fine Jewelers in Carmel at MoyerFineJewelers.com. Exclusions, get $500 off your purchase now through Christmas Eve. That's Moyer Fine Jewelers, just north of 146th Street in Carmel, MoyerFineJewelers.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
No one does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Everything from tequila cocktails and bourbon to top shelf spirits and cocktails served over ice balls. Local craft beers and handcrafted whiskey cocktails round out the adventurous drink menu. And don't forget about the 29-degree drafts.
Heat and cool with nearly geothermal efficiency in places you can't fit ductwork with Mitsubishi electric ductless mini splits.
Just go to AbsoluteComfort.org. That's AbsoluteComfort.org.
BullseyeEventGroup.com, the Colts VIP tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. Your Colts game day experience the best it can be. Log on and get your passes now. BullseyeEventGroup.com.
The Ride with JMV.
Excuse me, sir. There's been a little problem in the cockpit.
The cockpit? What is it?
It's the little room in the front of the plane where the pilots sit. But that's not important right now.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Matt Taylor, voice of the Colts, the first touchdown pass for Phillip Rivers in 5 years. Speaking of crazy, is it crazy to bring Phillip Rivers back out there on Monday night against the Niners? That's exactly what the Colts are going to do. Now, they're going to do that, but you tell me, I told you what I believe, knowing that's their thought, knowing that they're still trying to win. I would tell you what Johnny high school idea I just had. And it is lame as hell. But if that's the direction you're clearly going to go, I don't know what else to come up with against a team that is going to be locked in on exactly what you did yesterday. And believe me, you hung in, and that is great. You still lost. But I think we all know offensively the serious limitations of this team. And does anybody think that all of a sudden that's going to be cured? Josh writes this, so Monday night probably doesn't really matter. Christian McCaffrey is going to kill him. I'd expect well over 100 yards rushing, 50 yards receiving, and 2 to 3 TDs. Let me tell you this, Josh. They're still going at it as if they're still going at it right here. So it's not one where you just put your hands up and say, yeah, you know what, we're going to get our ass beat, so put the old man in there. I mean, if you're going to get your ass beat, put Brett Rippon in there. Who cares? They're going out there to try to win. What I am trying to come up with is a solution as to what could help them against a better team right now, given their quarterback situation. And again, as much as they were able to hang in against a very good defense in a tough environment, it was also as big a reason as any why they didn't end up winning. You have to be so perfect or close to perfect in everything you do, everything else on that field, to be able to survive those circumstances, again, those limitations at quarterback. It's the second time this year they've had to settle for a 60-yard field goal, but I think it's even more magnified with a quarterback. That was a great story, the touchdown pass and, his team, a watch party and cheering. But I'm talking about a solution, even if it's a half-assed, ridiculous-sounding solution to what the issue is. So tell me what the issue is. Okay, you want the brain, the decision-making of a 44-year-old out there, but where can you find the arm of somebody that at the very least is a threat down the field or is a mobile threat in and around the pocket? Because the offensive line was not an issue yesterday. What do? Text line is wide open for you guys, too. Thanks for hitting me up. Dave in Beach Grove says, don't be surprised if Fernando and the boys run it back. He just added Dr. Pepper to his NIL money. He's making either $2.6 or $2.8 million and gets to play with his brother. Not a bad gig if you can get it. And you know what? You might be right regarding the return of Fernando Mendoza. I would doubt it. I would say if you believe you're going to be a top-tier pick at quarterback in the NFL draft in the spring, you go. But certainly the money is a significant option. And I will also tell you this, Dave in Beach Grove, you're going to have a lot of options at quarterback. Have you seen the 2 names that just came out today in the transfer portal? Anybody ever tell you that Bloomington, Indiana is now the cradle of high-level quarterbacks with Curt Cignetti there? Because the last 2 years, all you've seen is the upgrade. Everybody else sees what you're seeing, too. Everybody watched 60 Minutes. First time I've ever watched 60 Minutes last night. The money that they're putting into that program right now. JMV, I think as soon as Richardson is able, you have to put him back out there. Also, Ajayi with the Hustle Play of the Year, 2 of the best college players in the state, Bizjack and Ajayi. Ajayi, he got rejected by Stefan Rim, which means he tried to dunk it and got blocked by the rim. Didn't pout, didn't whine while laying on the floor, was first to the loose ball, and then after a kick out a made three. That was an awesome play. An awesome play that most would not make. What a great game that was. Michael is in Louisville, Kentucky. Steichen has picked this as his hill to die on. So when it's all a disaster like we know it's going to be, everyone needs to be sent packing. Everybody. Hey, if they embarrassingly lose out, maybe that is going to be the key to all this for that change. I'm just going by what took place going all the way back to October, and it seemed like when you allowed, if you're Carly Ursay-Gordon, that deal to take place, more than just a Band-Aid, as you remember it was described back in early November. When you allowed that, I thought you're signing on with this group for the foreseeable future, because on the field, to make changes, simply put, you don't have the options. 239-1070. Mike in Brooklyn, James, is going to start this show. Hello, Mike in Brooklyn.
Yeah, what's that Japanese saying? I'm not sure if I got it right. Kobayashi Maru, no-win situation.
Yeah.
I remember that from Star Trek, Captain Kirk.
Is that how you feel right now? Who should quarterback this team on Monday night, Mike?
Well, it's got to be Rivers, because that's Steichen's thing. Cerebral. He needs the cerebral quarterback. I've already written off Anthony Richardson as anything. I mean, the guy can't even get basic things in the preseason. You put him in garbage time, and he throws the wrong pass, throws a pass to himself right into the defensive lineman's arm. So Anthony Richardson is a fairy tale as far as I'm concerned. But ironically, yesterday, I think Steichen called the game exactly the way he should have. And they played well enough to win. They tried to gut it out. Once again, just at the end of the game, though, the playing for the 60-yard field goal, I don't know about you, but when it was before the 2-minute warning, I'm saying, what are you doing? Why aren't we hurrying up to the line here and getting another play in? So then I started thinking, don't tell him he's going to this is it. He's just going to play it out for the 60-yard field goal, which is exactly what he did. He's trying to. Hey,
Mike, I don't think this offense is capable of much more, if anything more, than what we witnessed yesterday, and that's the problem I have against the Niners on Monday night. I think we saw the ceiling of it yesterday with that quarterback, and again they were close. That's great. But they didn't win, and I think we saw the ceiling of it. And believe me, if we saw it, the Niners are going to be licking their chops at it.
Yeah, I mean, I think they can hang in and they can play, but that's just like the common theme for this team, that this is what they are. When do we ever see these guys step up in a big game against a big-time opponent? And that doesn't happen. Just the way they handled the end of that game, celebrating, like you got 40 seconds left to go. They're celebrating like they won the Super Bowl. Special team. I mean, Groupie hit that field goal great. Special teams needed to come up, make pin them back as far as they could, get a big stop, which they'd done earlier in the day. Couldn't do it. Once again, doesn't matter who the defensive coordinator is. I don't care if there's rookies in the secondary. Sam Darnold, boom, boom, and he hits a deep pass out of bounds to stop the clock with 18 yards.
Yep.
So I mean, it's just this is. In all fairness, this is who they are. Because this is the culture that they've been in. This is, these players are not playing for the Lombardi Trophy. They're playing for the participation trophy. They don't know what it is to suck up their guts and make a play to win the game. They just want to say, well, we gave it our best. You're not getting paid to do your best. You're getting paid to win. You could have won the game at the end, and they were incapable of doing it. They've been incapable of doing it since Phillip Rivers was the quarterback. They can do it against the Arizona Cardinals, and you get lucky, you get a non-pass interference call. They were able to come up. They were able to beat the Falcons in Germany, but to go up against a big-time team, a playoff caliber team, over and over and over again, when the game is on the line, they're going to find a way to lose it. They're not going to come up big. It's who they are. I mean,
you think they have a different rank? I mean, we know that Rivers is going to start on Monday night because Shane Steichen, Mike, said as much today. Do you think they're going to have a different wrinkle here at all, or come out with the same type of design? Because my problem is, I don't know what more they can do. I think you exhausted all the energy you have at trying to get the 44-year-old involved. I think, again, he's got limitations that are such that I don't know how you're going to find what is going to be necessary to loosen things up with this Niner defense. Now, I mean, listen, it was one thing to be able to do that to the Seahawks, and they did it, but they ended up losing. But now everybody, if you didn't already know, you're really going to know. And it kind of looked like at times Seattle was a little bit confused about what was going on, because I'd watched them before, and maybe it was just the offensive line stepping up. I'm not sure, because they did definitely step up, Mike. But it's not going to be – I think you saw the highest level of what this group can do with this quarterback yesterday, and it was still in the losing situation. So you've got to add something to it. You got to do something different to me, and we'll see, what that is going to be.
Yeah, you think you're going to get I mean, the only thing that I could think of is getting some packages in there for Riley Leonard. Let him use his legs. Let him, a couple of goal line situations where you let him.
I think that is the only. So, and it sounds stupid because I brought it up last night. It sounds stupid as hell, but I don't know, what else you're going to come up with if this is your path, and clearly this is their path. Mike, I appreciate it. Later on this week, we'll learn a little bit more.
Oh, yeah, bro. And by the way, you look good in your new congratulations to your new studio.
No, really. Do you like the look of it, Mike?
Yeah, man. Yeah. And you color coordinated, too, man.
Oh, yeah.
So, good job.
It was accidentally done, but I'm looking damn straight good in this joint here. Thank you, brother.
Yeah. All right. Take care, bro.
Mike is in Brooklyn, New York. What would you do at quarterback, knowing that Phillip Rivers is the starter? Did they find a new right tackle, the right tackle of the future? I believe they did. Jalen Travis, by the way, was a terrific interview. Luke Tenuta, shout out to him coming in at left tackle. I didn't notice that there was a beat that was missed. Anybody else? All right, 239-1070. Your calls coming up on the other side. In fact, I think we're plumb nude, until the 5 o'clock hour and Stephen Holder. Hey, tomorrow is going to be a great show on the road, Twin Peaks in Greenwood. So, James, I'm going to turn 56 years of age tomorrow at Twin Peaks in Greenwood. I can't think of a better location to do that.
That sounds like a great time.
5-6, Twin Peaks in Greenwood, having a party. I know you reached out to Dan Wetzel. Hopefully that happens. Hey, tomorrow's show, I have an extra special guest who is locked in, who is going to be in town, in fact, but locked in at 5 o'clock hour. I'll explain coming up on the other side. The Stream the App, HD Radio, the AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live. Become a AAA member today as we are live in our new studios just off of Meridian in St. Joseph's. It's The Ride with JMV on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Welcome to Wawa. We're open 24/7, so when the sun goes down but everyone's still up, Wawa has your late night fuel. Headed to a hangout? Stop in for snacks and sodas. Binge your favorite shows with burgers and hoagies. Gather around the table with garlic knots and a cheesy Wawa pizza. Or just chill on the couch with fries and whatever milkshake sounds good. Your night just got a whole lot tastier. Freshly made burgers, pizza, and so much more. When you got a late night craving, you got a Wawa. Price and participation may vary by store.
You'll get more than you expect with McValue at McDonald's. Like deals on your late night go-tos when the party goes till dawn. And savings on their faves. So date night always passes the vibe check. Plus, when the fam shows up for the weekend, you can show out for breakfast.
Enjoy a $3 sausage McMuffin with egg or egg McMuffin and pair it with a $1.49 any size Coke. Price and participation may vary, cannot be combined with any other offer.
Hey, JMV here for AAA. You know this to be true. Like the winter weather that we had over the weekend is a huge deal, and AAA wants to make sure that you don't get stuck in the snow and the ice and the cold. And then the melting factor is going to take place as well. So, yeah, get a part of AAA today and know that you and the family, the friends around you are taken care of. Roadside service requests are simple. All you have to do is download the AAA mobile app, request service, and track your service responder in real time. This time of year, as we get finally into the winter, this is going to be something for you, your family, friends of the family, that's necessary. It's real easy to do. Join at AAA.com and download the mobile app. Do that today. Tell them I sent you, too, if you slide by a local AAA office. That's AAA.com, or download the mobile app now and tell them JMV sent you.
Do you spend half your day walking or standing while working? If you have foot, knee, or low back pain, the Good Feet store wants to help you like we helped Tony.
Pain that I experience the most is foot pain from being on my feet all day. You're having to kind of talk to yourself through the whole shift, like, I got this, I can do this. Before, I felt defeated, and now it's like, all right, let's go. I'm ready. A whole new life, like sunshine coming on.
And here's Dennis.
Working at an amusement park, it's always on your feet. I just couldn't take it. I just couldn't believe that putting these arch supports in made that much of a difference that quickly. Good Feet just took that pain away, and I could do my job, and I could take care of my family. I know what my tomorrow is going to be. It's going to be positive, and it's going to be pain-free.
You deserve a better life, too. Stop into the Good Feet store today. We're located in Castleton by the Fashion Mall or in Greenwood, just off the 65.
Thanks to the Good Feet store. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Get ready to hoop. It's back. Time to try your skills at Night Owls Thursday, December 18th with the fans' very own Jake Query from 7:30 to 9:30 with Michelob Ultra's Mini Hoops Challenge. Michelob Ultra Mini Hoops Challenge gives you a chance to win a Michelob Ultra basketball jersey and punch your ticket to the Mini Hoops Finals, where a trip to see Indiana versus Milwaukee in Milwaukee on February 6th is on the line, complete with a hotel gift card and $100 Visa gift card. Visit 1075thefan.com today to see all the locations and details.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify. With Wawa's rewards program, you can rack up points on the items you buy every day, even fuel. Boost your totals with a breakfast sizzling. Score points with your morning coffee. With Wawa rewards, points put the power in your hands. You can choose to redeem them for what you love most, like an iced latte for an extra pick-me-up or your lunchtime hoagie. Download the Wawa app today. When you gotta get rewarded, you gotta Wawa. Fuel rewards not available in New Jersey or were legally prohibited. See full details at wawarewards.com. Price of participation may vary by store.
No matter where you're headed, it's nice to know Hubler's got you covered for 200,000 miles. Visit drivehubler.com or any of the 13 Hubler locations.
The Ride with JMV.
Attention, whoever you are, this channel is reserved for emergency calls only.
Lady, do I sound like I'm ordering a pizza? 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Matt Taylor, voice of the Colts. Colts lose 8-6. Colts Monday night get Frisco in town. Phillip Rivers, his first touchdown pass in 5 years. At the very end, a 60-yarder from Blake Groupie. I was already getting everybody at the shop in Broad Ripple and Carmel, James, ready for I am a groupie after that 60-yarder. Hell, I think I even spelled it wrong, which is not unusual. I'm a groupie. The little nugget of a human being, James, with the big leg. There's nothing wrong with little nugget of a human with a big leg. And then, unfortunately, it all unraveled in that final Seahawks possession, and Myers goes 5-6 in distance for the game winner. JMV, greetings from the great city of Atlanta. I love your show. I listen every day. This feels so much like 1997 all over again when the Colts were grasping at straws with Harbaugh and Paul, Justin. Yeah, Paul Justin back then. Well done. They just need to ride and die the rest of the way with Riley Leonard and see what they have there. We need to come up. James, do we have capabilities of doing a poll, a POLL somewhere? Can you do that?
On Twitter, I can do or on X.
I'm kind of curious. Can you guys all chime in? I'm curious the line in the sand that's drawn between those that do want to see Phillip Rivers again and those that want to see somebody else, whether it's Riley Leonard or you'll find out about Richardson later on this week or anybody else. And I understand this. This is not a shot at Phillip Rivers. This is more about the limitations of the offense. If you could mix his decision-making and savvy up with somebody that has a capable down-the-field threat, then I think everybody would be down with that. Shane Steichen said earlier today that indeed it is going to be Phillip Rivers to start coming up on Monday. How many of you want that? And I don't want to hear, I'm checked out and I'm done. No. Offer an opinion. You guys have me offer my opinions every day, and I have come up with an incredibly jackass one about, to me, if you're going to go with Rivers, you better have some packages with another quarterback, whomever this might be, for certain situations to where you know that Rivers is not going to be able to do it. And when the defense knows that Rivers is not a threat to do it. I'm not anti-Rivers. I'm anti-offensive limitations because that cost you the game yesterday. Where is that poll located, James? Can you direct folks there? I got to know.
I just put it on my X account. I tagged you in it, so if you want to retweet it, you can find it there.
I'll jump right in there in a second. Just like you could just jump right in with incredible elite-level snacking and Win Schuler's coming up later on tonight for you. Original sharp cheddar bacon and cheddar, jalapeno pepper. One of my favorite locations in Carmel would be Neiman's Harvest Market. They have incredible meats and cheeses and the variety that you're looking for of Win Schuler's there. Gordon's Food Service and throughout the state of Indiana, there's one good thing about the state of Michigan, actually two good things. Win Schuler's spreadability and Meijer. Any Meijer location in the state of Indiana has the spreadability of Win Schuler's. Hour 2, your calls at 239-1070. We'll get to that poll. Special guest tomorrow, birthday show on the road in Greenwood at Twin Peaks. Cannot wait to see you down there. And as I mentioned, too, a special guest announcement in the 5 o'clock hour coming up tomorrow. I'll explain that and more on Stephen Holder a little over an hour away. This is 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. Your home for indie sports. Now with even more ways to listen.
Listen on air.
Online at 1075thefan.com.
And on our free app.
Stay connected to all things indie sports, including the latest news, show blogs, and catch up on what you've missed with our podcast.
We're never more than just a click away.
Download our app at Google Play and on the App Store. From your home for indie sports.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
The following is a district-wide service announcement from the District Tap.
The District Tap. Craft beer on tap and damn good food. Wait, hey, can we say that? Damn good food?
Yes, I'm told that damn good food is totally acceptable. Go ahead and pick it up from there.
The District Tap. Craft beer on tap and damn good food. And don't get me started on all the sports at the tap. Over 60 big f***ing screens with as much NFL and collegiate football action as you can handle. Weeknight matchups? Yeah, we have weeknight games. Looking for a spot downtown to catch that game? Get your f***ing ass over to our new downtown location at the corner of Georgia Street and Meridian. Game on at the District Tap. How's that?
Fan-tastic.
The District Tap. Craft beer on tap and damn good food. North at 82nd Street, just east of Keystone at the Crossing, and downtown at the corner of Georgia Street and Meridian. Online at thedistricttap.com.
Hey, Johnny, for Andy Moore, Buick GMC, 131st State Road 37. That is in Fishers. I'm looking out this window, and I see out a window for the first time in forever when I'm in studio someplace. I can almost see Andy Moore, Buick GMC, all the way up in Fishers. And you know what? You should see it sometime soon as well. If you're looking for a new set of wheels, that is it. The inventory they have. And ask my friend Eric Wilson about the incentives to buy. They have those too. That is savings you get with the vehicle that you want to buy. Incentives to buy, plus the very best service after the sale you're going to find any place. My friend Eric Wilson, asked for him today. The absolute one-stop shopping best is Andy Moore Buick GMC, 131st State Road 37 in Fishers.
Hey, Colts fans, Crown Royal is a proud partner of the Indianapolis Colts, and this season it's not game day without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. Whether you're at the tailgate, in the stands, or watching from home, Crown Royal is the reason and the reward for coming together. Grab a glass with the Crown Royal rig at a stadium near you, because we'll be sharing the generous spirit with fans across the country. Crown Royal, fueling game day with a generous spirit. Visit www.crownroyal.com/royal rig for more on the Crown Royal Rig Tour. Please drink responsibly.
JMV here for my friends at Premier Weight Loss. You know what's funny? When I was in my teens, body exploration meant something completely different than it does now that I'm 56 years of age. I can say now that it means, where am I on my weight loss journey? Down nearly 80 pounds. How about my body fat percentage? Down from 35% to 13%. Now it's time to add muscle mass, or lean mass, if you will, with the tone stimulation machine that they have at Premier Weight Loss. You can do the same. Weight loss journey and then tone up with Thomas and Samantha and the gang at Premier Weight Loss. It will work for you. That's PWLND.com. Mention my name. For the first 10 days in the month of December, you could win 2 lower-level tickets to see the Niners and the Colts. If you want to lose the weight, if you want to feel better, it's PWLND.com. You can do it. Tell them JMV sent you. PWLND.com today. Guys, you can screw up your fantasy roster, you can whiff on a parlay, but you don't mess up the ring. Go to Moyer Fine Jewelers in Carmel. They only sell natural, hand-selected, top-quality diamonds at competitive prices. And to make it even easier, mention JMV and get $500 off your engagement ring now through Christmas Eve. That's Moyer Fine Jewelers just north of 146th Street in Carmel, or online, MoyerFineJewelers.com. Exclusions apply.
Hey, it's Big Joe for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, Price Point Comfort Heating and Cooling. Tyler Swindle is the owner's son, and he's the one in charge of the techs who will do the work in your home.
So we get a lot of customers that are like, hey, I'm not going to be able to meet you there. Can I just give you the door code? One thing I always tell, like, anytime I ever get that question is, I can tell you all of the technicians that we have, if I wouldn't let them in my house, I'm not going to let them in your house. So all of our technicians are trustworthy.
Just go to PricePointComfort.com. Price Point Comfort Heating and Cooling is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/play.
It's BullseyeEventGroup.com, the Colts VIP tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. Your Colts game day experience the best it can be. Log on and get your passes now. BullseyeEventGroup.com.
From the DriveHubler.com studios, this is 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
WIBC HD2, W298BB, WIBC HD3, W228CX, Indianapolis.
The Ride with JMV.
2 more minutes. They could be miles off course. That's impossible. They're on instruments. This is going to be a real sweat.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
The Heisman Trophy announcement on Saturday. 2 things happened this weekend, courtesy of ESPN right there. In our new studios, that's one thing that happened to me this weekend. I'd been out on the road a couple of different days when this thing was cracked open last week. And then yesterday, me, Casey Valier, and Bill Brooks started the Colts pregame huddle, so I was in here for the first time. And today, James and I in studio for the first time in forever, and I dig it here. I love it. Awesome new studios. Still in the process. Guys are carrying ladders and pounding stuff and drilling stuff and stuff like that. There are TVs everywhere. Absolutely everywhere around. This is great. So that's one thing that happened. But 2 things I had never done before. I'd never watched the Heisman Trophy presentation show. And you do it because of Fernando Mendoza and IU winning, having a winning player, the Heisman, for the first time ever. And then you do it for the after-win speech, which was incredible from Mendoza. Can you imagine? This is true. And this is just the crap water existence of some out there. To try to tear that down. To try to rip on that. To try to find issue. Any issue whatsoever with that. You know how big, this is true. I feel compelled to make sure I share this common knowledge with you. You know how big of a jackass you have to have anything wrong with that speech. I don't care if you're a self-proclaimed troll or you think it's funny or you're amusing yourself all alone between your ample self-fulfillment. But you know how big of a jackass you have to be? Not only was that a great speech, and I don't care, even if I was watching it, if he was from Vanderbilt, that was a great speech. If he was from Notre Dame, that's a great speech. I know it's magnified because he's from IU. That's their first Heisman, and now they're a football school, and this is great. But it was an incredible speech anyway. And I was just compelled to bring this up. If you were around anybody or saw anybody that took issue with it and tried to twist it into something that it wasn't or made fun of it, then you know you are truly either reading or listening to a jackass, and you should never do that again. And I think that if we all found that out and moved forward without that particular jackass baggage, we would all be better for it. All be better for it. Because it was perfect. It was perfect. Every single day I do this show, and every single day I hear the description of what you would believe to be the perfect athlete. That was as human and as touching as a speech as you are ever going to hear. And rarely do we talk about perfection with that in mind. That was perfect. Yeah, I know. The Skip Bayless thing, rehearsed. Listen, jackass. I should take my own advice because he is truly a jackass. And you know what? I don't even feel compelled to get all over Diego Pavia about what he went to the club and got loose and, F the Heisman voters. See, I will say this, and this is common knowledge from me in my 20s. I often did stupid things. I often got drunk and did really stupid things. One time I drank out of the tip jar on a dare at Jake's in Bloomington and got tossed. I feel bad about that. But it wasn't on video, and I wasn't giving the finger to everybody. I was just a jackass. I've done some jackass things in my life, in my 20s. And when I think about that with Pavia, or think about that with me 3 different decades ago, I also think how incredible it is to look at something like Mendoza that truly has the weight of the entire nation watching you right now. And for the first time ever, having these incredible opinions about you, and for him to handle that in that fashion at that age is incredible to me. So I wasn't mad regarding Pavia and what he had to say and how he handled it, because I've done jackass things in my 20s too. But what it did, it spoke even more volume as to how perfect Mendoza was in that presentation with that speech, and how perfect he has been in this season for IU football. It truly is incredible. So a shout out to him. That's the first time I've ever watched that. And then last night I was reminded to shout out to John Wertheim, graduate of Bloomington North High School, and has now long-standing, I think, been a part of 60 Minutes, who brought to a lot of people that normally wouldn't be paying attention, those news and political worthy people, a glimpse inside the evolution in the past 2 years under Kurt Cignetti of this IU football program. And a shout out to Don Fisher, who was front and center. I will say this, though, and I'll bring this up to Don on Friday. Don always seems more excited when he sits across from me at our table down in Bargersville and watching me drink and he and Susie eat than he was opposite of John Worthon. He's always more excited with me sitting there. But it was awesome to see Don on there. And then Wertheim got Mellencamp on there too. I love the fact that Mellencamp has a smoker's box up there. I think, a true story, I don't know within Bloomington city limits, like where else, outside of a smoking corral or a smoker's bullpen are you allowed to be in public like that and burn one? That was good stuff. That's the first time I've watched 60 Minutes and the first time I'd ever watched the Heisman Trophy presentation, and both have been worth it. It really has. Hey, by the way, bullseyeeventgroup.com, the Colts VIP tailgate from Monday night, that is going to be a party. This time next Monday, I'll be down there doing this show. But bullseyeeventgroup.com will get you set for that. They also have tickets in case you're looking for tickets for the Rose Bowl for IU. They have your tickets. And we'll see if that next step is taken, what type of party could be on the inbound in Atlanta. But I do know that they have at Bullseye tickets for the Rose Bowl for you. You may want to check that out. bullseyeeventgroup.com. I just talked to Kenneth a little bit earlier. And he is good to go. We're talking about the Colts quarterback situation. You tell me, who would you rather see? Shane Steichen announced earlier today that it is indeed going to be Phillip Rivers. Do you like, if it's going to be Phillip Rivers and that's the direction clearly we're going, do you have to add some wrinkles? Do you like my Johnny high school football opinion on how that should be handled? Or should it be a different quarterback altogether? I just sent that back out at JMV 1070. James created that. We rarely do polls here, and there is a poll for you. Because I giggle too much like I'm 12 years old. See, I told you I'm a jack. There's zero way I could handle anything in my 20s. I mean, yeah, drinking out of the tip jar is the tip of the iceberg of my 20s. I know you guys are shocked. Complete and utter jackass. It's good to know that years later, James, I'm all grown up now. It's good to know that. I can't be dragged into situations like that any longer. I'm all grown up and very responsible.
And it only took till the day before your 56th birthday.
5'6" tomorrow, everybody. I don't feel 5'6". I feel better than I did at both 46 and 36. True story. Because I think when you add both 46 and 36 together, that plus the amount of weight I've lost, I feel much better. The weight loss has been a big deal. Man, shout out to Premier Weight Loss for that. I feel better going into 5'6" than I did going into 4'6" and a 3'6". 239-1070 is that number. Colts from yesterday, Mendoza, the Heisman Trophy winner. I'm not talking about the Pacers today because they're not worthy of talking about after that extra crappy afternoon effort at home against the Wizards yesterday. That was not it. That's not going to inspire anybody. And all you had to do is look at Pascal Siakam on the bench to see how much inspiration was involved anywhere. That was gross. I did want to mention, too, the overnight news regarding director, writer, actor Rob Reiner and his wife being murdered and what has been described, I guess, allegedly by his son. I haven't followed the story in the last couple of hours, but obviously any situation like this is beyond sad, and I'm going to lean on to the entertainment value that Rob Reiner himself and along with projects and then others, how should I describe this, tentacles that he created to entertain us all. And that's without me ever seeing The Princess Bride. I've never been down with The Princess Bride. But Stand By Me is one of my favorite all-time films. You look at the films, you look at what he accomplished as a part of the cast of All in the Family. The Wolf of Wall Street, when he played Mad Max, as little time that he spent actually on the screen, but the massive impact that he had, that's what I feel about his career. Rarely have we ever seen somebody be that multi-generational impactful as we have seen in Rob Reiner. An incredible career. And then his father, Carl Reiner. You know, it's interesting. I think yesterday, correct me if I'm wrong, because it was the first rated R movie that I'd ever seen. I believe yesterday was the anniversary of the release back in 1979 of The Jerk. That was Steve Martin's first starring role. And I want to say that was a Carl Reiner film as well. I think Carl Reiner passed away back in 2020. Just an absolute entertainment genius. And so was Rob Reiner. And the news that has transpired in the past 12 plus hours has been just awful. Absolutely awful. I digress. Back to sports at 239-1070 right now. Calls, and we got text line that's open at 317-239-1070 as well. Can we start with Andy on line number 1? No? Who's on? Give me a number.
Let's go with line 2. That should be Ike.
Line 2 is my man Ike is good to go. Hello, Ike. How are you?
Hello, JMV. All I got to say is this about yesterday's game, the Colts versus Seattle. Rivers took us down and got us a field goal with less than a minute to play. And then what do? We allowed a Jigma to run off the line unmolested. If I'd have been coaching, I would have chucked him for all he was worth for the 5 yards that the league allows you to chuck him. Every time they lined up, I'd have chucked him, and I'd have kept on chucking him. And so if we'd have took him out of his route, he probably would have won that game.
You know what, Ike? I think he ended up with 100 yards receiving plus, but it didn't seem like that he was as impactful as he normally might be. I felt like they did some good things, and I think what that does, Ike, I think that highlights what I've been talking about. You mentioned Rivers got them down the field and put them in position to win. While you're accurate about that, the problem is that everybody else has to play at such a consistent high level because there are significant offensive limitations that we see. And I think that was the overall theme. Even with what you're bringing up, it is 100% accurate. But those limitations are going to get you in the end in this era of the NFL. There's just no way around it.
Yeah, well, I blame that on the defensive scheme. Because if that had been Belichick, I guarantee you he'd have chucked the Jigma with all he was worth. But what do? We just let him run off the line, unmolested, gets down there, way down there in field goal range, catches it, and runs out of bounds. That's why we lost the game.
Well, that Seattle team was ripe yesterday. That's what's so incredibly disappointing.
Somebody else would have had to beat me. It wouldn't have been him. That's all I'm saying. He's the one that beat us.
Ike, it's so disappointing because that team was incredibly ripe yesterday to beat. And, yeah, unfortunately, the Colts let them off the hook. And, again, I just think that magnifies, the level that everybody has to play if you don't have any average offensive threat. And as good a story as the River story was yesterday, you have to be better and more of a threat at that position in the NFL to expect to win. You just do.
Well, we got Jonathan Taylor, so that's what keeps him honest.
Yeah, he was three and a half per carry and 87 yards out of 26 carries. He got the number of carries that he should have, but you would hope he would break one off. Like they had 2 plays, 15-plus yards, and that was it. That normally doesn't win you anything.
Well, he didn't break none off, but they had to worry about him, though. They had to worry about him.
And that's a great point you make because they were worried about him because they're not worried about the quarterback being able to get the ball down the field. And therein lies the issue.
Okay, then you figure that's the reason why we lost. But I'm saying the reason why we lost is because we didn't take care
No,
of
hey,
business.
hey, Ike, man, we can all be. I'm not suggesting I'm right over you.
Minutes to play.
Ike, I'm not suggesting I'm right over you at all. You're right with your opinions, but the quarterback play has to be better. I'm talking over Ike. He doesn't hear me. Sorry, hey, Ike, go ahead and continue. I'll shut up.
I'll just say whatever you believe that's the reason, but I'm just saying with less than a minute to play, our quarterback had us in the lead. So, you can say whatever you want, but it was our defense that let them get down there in field goal range, and I would have shut Jigma down. That's what I would have done. Now, they might have got down in some other way, but it wouldn't have been causing him. And look at the play that he made. They got him way down there in field goal range. So he caught 2 passes in that last drive. It never would have happened under my defense. They had to find somebody else.
Ike, thank you for the call. I was talking over Ike. I didn't like that. That's my bad. Why is everyone getting on the defense, not stopping the Seahawks? Oh, they had them to all field goals. This is a counter to what Ike just had to say. If you said that it was going to happen going into the game, you would have thought the Colts would win. Rivers is not the answer. Start AR when he is ready, Bob in CG. You're going to start Phillip Rivers. You have to have certain down the field threats. You have to add some wrinkles to this. It just can't be all about him again, because not only are circumstances going to be different, but now you're going to have even more tape out there, and it's not like anybody's going to be surprised about what takes place on Monday night. And while Ike was accurate, and Ike has in mind what he wants to do defensively, again, the threat and the inability to do anything down the field, any chunk plays whatsoever, that's like 1950s or 60s football, and you're lucky to be involved in a game like that. I'm glad that they were, and yes, it should have worked out better. I mean, you would expect your defense to at least have a little bit of resistance on that final drive, or the kickoff to be better. But you look forward to Monday night, I don't know if Frisco's not going to be more prepared for what they have witnessed with Phillip Rivers. I'm not mad at Phillip Rivers, but you have to get more out of that position. And certainly if you're not going to be able to do it, the threat has to be there. At some point, there's just zero threat. Nothing whatsoever. Thank you, Ike. Michael's on line 3 at 239-1070. Hello, Michael.
JMV, thanks for having me.
You got it, bro.
JMV, thanks for having me.
You got it, man. Go ahead.
Hey, I have a comment and then a question after that. So my comment is, we're talking about cleaning house with the coaching staff and the GM. I don't think Ballard deserves to come back. However, with the Sauce Gardner trade, what GM and coach in their right mind would want to take this job knowing they don't have 2 first-round picks going for their first 2 years? It'd be like the Penn State coaching search all over again. We'd be down to our 12th, 13th option. I don't foresee any, high quality, high caliber, up and coming GM and coach wanting this job, knowing that they're stuck with, washed up AR or a broken Danny Jones, right? So that's my comment.
That's my thought too. And somebody asked me that yesterday, and you asked me that. Somebody else asked me that last week, Michael. And I don't know if it would. Certainly, it probably would be more difficult. You wouldn't maybe have your selection of anybody that you'd want. Somebody would still want the gig, but no, you're right. I mean, overall, this is not going to be a primary job. Plus, you and I are in lockstep on the fact that when they agreed to do that Sauce Gardner deal, I think that was the moment when they were the understanding that everybody was going to be back, like it or lump it. I think that was the moment at the trade deadline, and I think that's how it's going to be coming up next year. What's Ballard got one more year, and he's not going to get extended, but I don't think that with one more year remaining that he is going to be gone. I think that everybody sitting here right now, unless they have an absolute embarrassing final 3 weeks meltdown disaster where you have to clean house, I think that there was an understanding at the trade deadline that this is going to be it coming up next year. And in fact, they certainly plan on bringing Daniel Jones back, right? And, trying to expedite his rehab process to whenever that's going to be to maybe start the season, which was mentioned over the weekend. So I think that's another telltale sign that everybody's going to be back again.
And my question and comment that I think the most infuriating part to me is I don't mind that they called Phillip Rivers. What I find so almost malpractice by Ballard is if they had this little faith in Riley Leonard, which is fine, right, where we haven't seen practice, maybe he's struggling to grasp everything, why didn't they make that phone call on October 12th after the Arizona game and said, hey, we lost AR, our QB3, our practice squad player isn't very good. Phillip, can you start getting in shape, or would you be interested in holding a clipboard just in case a guy who has an injury history is getting banged up? If he was their emergency option, why weren't they exploring anything after the Arizona game? It's malpractice. And Shane Steichen said in the Jacksonville game, he said after the Jacksonville game, he's like, my first thought was, let's call Phillip. Why wasn't that your question? Why didn't you think of that after Richardson got hurt? Why was there no contingency plan? And here we are stuck now with a 44-year-old beer belly, Phillip Rivers. Maybe if we called him in October, we could say, hey, get in shape, work out the arm, man. Let's put you on the practice squad, finish up your high school season, and then let's at least get you in the building. And that, to me, is what's most infuriating. If they had that little faith in Riley Leonard, why didn't they explore anything after the Arizona game?
Michael, I think it's this way. I don't think Phillip Rivers would come back if he didn't know he was going to get automatically this gig. And clearly, if Daniel Jones is still playing and he is not done for the season, Rivers comes back to be the backup. I think that's why. I mean, you could call down and go, hey, man, maybe you should get in better shape because we may need you. But I don't think he would ever come back unless they say, all right, when you come back from Alabama, this is going to be your starting gig right here. That's exactly why, to me, he's also going to start on Monday night, too. There's no way you're going to bring him up here and starting for one game and then, have him ride the bench after that. So, yeah, I think that this is all late evolving, but I don't think he would have been an option if Daniel Jones still would be out there as the starting quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the very least you could have given a heads up. Hey, you're going to be our emergency option. Get into shape, Phillip, just in case. Or start exploring trades out there for other backup quarterbacks if you didn't have any. I mean, something should have been done if that was your emergency option, was to call 44-year-old Phillip Rivers.
Yeah. Well, and this is kind of what they're about. It's almost like maybe we haven't been down this path before, but it feels like we've been down this path before, doesn't it, Michael? It does.
Yeah. I mean, I think really the only chance we have going down this I'll hang up after this because you got probably other callers. The only chance they're going to have to dial up some packages for AR to get in there to maybe just go in there on some 4th and 2s, 3rd and shorts, do some RPOs with JT, not ask him to do much, right? Because apparently he can't read defenses. Just say, hey, we're going to do some packages with AR, do some RPOs on short yardage, and have Alec Pierce run some verticals and try to go downfield a few times. I mean, I think that's if we get Sauce and Defoe back, and they can play as well as they did against Seattle down the stretch, and we get some mildly competent offensive play, we might be able to win a couple of these games. Now, that's the overly optimistic part of me. The realistic me is we're screwed. We're going to lose these 3, and we're stuck running it back again.
Michael, thank you for the call. I appreciate that. And, again, they didn't lose yesterday because of Phillip Rivers. But one of the significant issues would have been the Phillip Rivers limitations as quarterback offensively. And that's something that's only going to be more magnified coming up on Monday night against San Francisco. That's my entire point. This is not a show to rip on Phillip Rivers, not at all. Phillip Rivers did what I think everybody thought he could do upon being inserted as the starting quarterback. But part of the issue, while he didn't cost them the game, being limited or that limited offensively is not going to win you any games. Didn't win it yesterday, and is not going to win it in the future. Quick break. We'll come back to your calls. Don't go anywhere. The new studio, if you're watching via the AAA Membership Lounge, YouTube Live, how we looking on this Monday in downtown Indy? Twin Peaks on the road in Greenwood tomorrow. Can I see everybody there? Let's have a little bit of a party. I'll explain. Going to be a really fun show at Twin Peaks in Greenwood coming up tomorrow with 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
This is the Colts Review on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. Here's the voice of the Colts, Matt Taylor.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Colts Review today, and welcome inside the Indiana Union Construction Industry Radio Studio. I'm Matt Taylor, and the tough times continue for the Colts. They're now 8-6. They've lost 4 in a row and 5 of their last 6, and the 7-1 start seems like a distant memory as the Colts couldn't close out a close game in Seattle, losing 18-16 in the game's final minute. And fast forwarding to the end, Phillip Rivers and the Colts, they got the ball back with just over 2 minutes to play, facing a 15-13 deficit. And Rivers drove the Colts into range of a 60-yard field goal from Blake Grupe. And playing in just his second game with the Colts, Grupe nailed a career-long and franchise-long 60-yard field goal that put the Colts up 16-15 with only 52 seconds to play. But it proved to be too much time for the Seahawks as they had a decent return up to around the 37-yard line, and then Seattle quarterback Sam Darnold connected on a 16-yard pass to receiver Rashid Shaheed, who quickly moved the Seahawks into Colts territory. That was followed up by another 8-yard completion to Shaheed, which moved Seattle into range for kicker Jason Myers, and Myers would go on to connect his 6th and final field goal of the game, a 56-yarder with 18 seconds left. The Colts got the ball back with 11 seconds left at their own 30-yard line, but Rivers was intercepted on a desperation pass downfield. So it was another heartbreaking loss for the Colts. They're now 3-5 in one-score affairs this season. The Colts defense played one of their best games of the year as they allowed just over 300 yards of offense to Seattle, and only 50 of that came on the ground. Seattle was 2 for 13 on third down, 0 for 2 inside the red zone. But the Colts allowed too many big plays in the passing game to Seattle, and the Colts suffered a defeat despite the defense not allowing a touchdown on Sunday. As we all know by now, again, Phillip Rivers came out of retirement and started at quarterback for the Colts and became the 3rd oldest starting quarterback in NFL history. He also became just the 5th QB ever to start a game at age 44 or older, joining Tom Brady, Steve DeBerg, Warren Moon, and Vinny Testaverde. Rivers finished his first game since the 2020 season 18 of 27 for 120 yards and a touchdown and an interception late. And with Rivers at the helm, the Colts' game plan was to pound the run and have Rivers attempt high completion throws, which worked well in the first half. The Colts led 13-6 at halftime and possessed the ball for over 19 minutes in the first 2 quarters. The Colts relied heavily on Jonathan Taylor. He rushed it 25 times for 87 yards, but the Colts had just 5 completions that gained over 10 yards, and they racked up just 215 yards of offense for the game, and only 67 of that came in the second half. In fact, the Colts' output was their lowest in a game since the 2022 season, and for Rivers, his 120 passing yards were his fewest in a game since the 2007 season with the Chargers. So again, the Colts are 8-6. Their slide continues with both Houston and Jacksonville surging. The Texans have won 6 straight. They're 9-5. The Jaguars have won 5 in a row. They're 10-4, and they lead the AFC South with only 3 games to play. And the Colts return home in Week 16 as the team prepares to play in primetime for the first time this year. Monday Night Football is coming up next against the 49ers, and the Colts will be playing on the Monday night stage for the first time since the 2022 season. And that's it for the Colts Review today here on your home for the Colts, 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
It's JMV for BullseyeEventGroup.com, the Colts VIP tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. All you can eat, all you can drink. Before each Colts home game, make your game day experience the best it can be. Entertained inside the Bullseye Event Center and the great food from celebrity chef Kelsey Murphy. That and more, and combo up your passes with tickets to the game. That's the BullseyeEventGroup.com Colts VIP tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. Get your passes now. BullseyeEventGroup.com.
If you're one of the millions of Americans behind on your taxes, if you're afraid to open your mail because IRS collection letters could be coming, listen carefully. The IRS is cracking down, taking paychecks, freezing bank accounts, revoking passports. That's a fact. But here's what most people don't know. There are official tax relief programs designed to help struggling taxpayers. Programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Optima's award-winning team will fight to protect your paycheck, your passport, and your property. Their tax attorneys and licensed tax professionals will work tirelessly to get you the best deal possible with the IRS. Every day, penalties and interest keep piling up, so don't wait. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Better turn this mic on right here. Love Heating and Air. New studio. Odd places for the microphone button, but here we are. Love Heating and Air, 317-353-2141. Man, how has your system been running? Is it efficiently working for you, keeping you warm and comfortable in your home? Do you need a repair? Mention my name if you do. That's $95 off the service fee with Love Heating and Air. They have been very busy because obviously in situations like we've been going through with the below zero temperatures, sometimes you find out things that you didn't know about your heating unit. You got to go with the best to help you fix it up, and mention my name. Get $95 off that repair with Love Heating and Air. 317-353-2141. That's online, love-hvac.com today.
Hey there, it's Jake Query with a question for you. What are your dinner plans? Or do you even have a plan? I want you to be a hero tonight. Be a winner. Be a champion as a dinner provider. Get the Chicago's $25 medium pizza special tonight. 2 medium, 1-topping pizzas and an order of fresh hot breadsticks, all for just $25. You can pick up, delivery, dine in, DoorDash, whatever it might be. Be a winner at dinner with the $25 medium pizza family meal deal. This is not cheap, average, fast chain pizza. This is pizza with crust, handmade every day and topped generously with fresh ingredients made by local owner-operators who obsess over every slice. Add a salad, pasta, or sandwich to make any picky eater happy. Order online at chicagospizza.com. Click on your closest location and order the $25 medium pizza family meal deal. 25 is the special number, $25 medium pizza family meal deal, and 25 Indiana locations, 18 of them in Central Indiana. Make the entire family happy tonight. Even better, make yourself happy tonight with Chicago's Pizza. Chicago's Pizza, where there's a story told in every slice.
Hey, John here for Bullseye, eventgroup.com. That's the Colts VIP tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. Monday night will be all set. All you can eat, all you can drink. It is going to be a blast with DJ Skids as usual, Laura Steele as usual. I'll start things off at 3 o'clock. Coming up next Monday before that Niner game. Also wanted to give you a shout if you're looking for Rose Bowl tickets, you fans. They've got them for you. All you have to do is log on and check it out. Do that right now. BullseyeEventGroup.com. That Colts VIP tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. Monday night before the Niners, but also Rose Bowl tickets. Log on if you're thinking about it right now and you want to get yourself out there to watch the Hoosiers play. That's BullseyeEventGroup.com.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. Trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, and crypto all on one platform. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move. All investments involve risk, including loss of principal. Options, futures, and crypto trading carry significant risk and may not suit all investors. Securities offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Futures trading is offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Crypto offered through Robinhood Crypto LLC, NMLS ID 1702840, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Portfolio management offered by Robinhood Strategies, an SEC registered advisor.
It's a new season with a new QB.
Football is back.
And so are Bud Light Blue Fridays. Every week, join JMV starting at 3 for ice-cold Bud Light specials, football talk, and chances for you to snag tickets to Colts games and get some amazing swag on us. And get in on the football toss for a chance to win a trip to Las Vegas for your shot at Super Bowl tickets. Join JMV this Friday at 3 at Whiskey Business North on Pendleton Pike. Bud Light Blue Fridays.
The Ride with JMV.
Now you listen here. He's not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy. Now go away.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Hey, Shane. I don't think we asked you, just like for the record, about next week. I mean, Philip
is the starter next week? Is that how we should proceed? Okay.
Yeah, Philip is the starting quarterback. Yep.
Okay, and then
Shane Steichen right there was asking about the starting quarterback from Stephen Holder, who joins us at the top of the hour. Philip Rivers is your starter coming up next week. Rivers in his return after 5 years on the beach, 18 of 27, 120, a touchdown, and that final play interception, which honestly you're just kind of throwing it up to try to get it down the field, which was the most significant issue of the day, and something that voice of the Colts Matt Taylor talked about in that Colts Daily Update was the lack of chunk plays, which is directly related to the limitations you have at quarterback. The decision-making, fine. Being out there and trusting what he is doing, fine. But the offensive limitations that transforms your offense into something that looks like it's out of the early 70s and the 1960s, it is not going to win. You're fortunate you were there, and you should have won, and the kickoff messed you up, and the defense letting them get in position for that game-winning 56-yarder, they let you down. But offensive limitations, and believe me, the Seahawks just kept coming up. It was a stranglehold, and now even more of that is going to be visual for the Niners to digest for Monday night. And even with the Rivers as the starting quarterback, you have got to find some different wrinkles if you're Shane Steichen at that position. You just do. 239-1070 is that number. Hey, tomorrow, by the way, on the road, we're going to be at Twin Peaks in Greenwood. I want to see you there. The ice-cold beers and a great time. Dan Wetzel's going to join us. We'll talk about Fernando Mendoza, the Heisman. We'll talk about the college football playoff. And this is awesome, and a shout-out to him because he's going to be officially in town coming up on Thursday at the Mira Egyptian Room. It is a special screening of the film A Christmas Story. And we all watch that over Christmas, and there's always a marathon on TNT or TBS or both. And you've seen it 1,000 times. Peter Billingsley is Ralphie in A Christmas Story, and he's going to be at the Egyptian Room at the Mira with you on Thursday. I think I'm going to have some tickets to give away for that as well. But that is going to be a special screening of A Christmas Story, and then he's going to do a Q&A with the audience afterwards. Ralphie joins me on the show at about 5:30 tomorrow. Peter Billingsley, and I don't know how much of this he does, but he's going to join me coming up at 5:30 tomorrow. So Dan Wetzel, college football, Peter Billingsley, Ralphie from A Christmas Story, and maybe some tickets for you as well for that event coming up on Thursday. Twin Peaks in Greenwood should be an absolute blast tomorrow. And we'll have some beers for 56 tomorrow with you guys. Cannot wait to hang out with you. This is from Ryan, JMV. You better cut Mike off before they give him his own show. Mike was awesome. Jeff writes this: we all found out how the Colts feel about AR. You're probably right about that. Plus, his face is broken or has been broken. And who should the Colts go with at quarterback? James put that out. There is a poll. At James A Radio and at JMV 1070 if you guys want to go ahead and put your vote in. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. JMV, are they still working some bugs out? Listening today, and I can't turn my radio up loud enough to hear you. Is this true? Because I can talk louder, Jeff. No problem with that. Maybe just me or my old ears, but when I switched over, and that is next door with Hammer and Nigel, they're loud and we're soft. I'll start talking loud like this. That sounds loud to me, Jeff. So this is how I would normally talk. This is a test for all of you out there. And, Jeff, this is for you because you're a great listener to the show. Here's a test for everybody. This is how we normally talk right here. So is it a lot louder this way? Do you hear it better? What do you want? The louder version or the softer regular version? 239-1070. Text line 317-239-1070 as well. Courtney is up next today. Hello, Courtney. Welcome to the show.
What's good, John?
Courtney,
How you doing? Long
I'm
time,
hanging
man.
out. Where you been, Courtney? It's good to hear from you. Welcome back.
Man, I've been working, man. You know, dealing with these people I'm working with. So, yeah, talk about that game yesterday, man. That defense at the end. I mean, they held good, but at the end, I don't know what Lou Anarumo was planning or what he thought that he was trying to do. I just don't understand why you didn't just make them throw in the middle of the field instead of down the sideline.
Yeah, got outside, didn't have to burn a timeout. And really, would they get down the field in the better part of like 25 seconds or so? It didn't take them very long. And the kickoff was awful, too.
It took like 3 plays.
Yeah.
It took like just 3 plays. Like Sam Arnold was down there just chugging one first down, then another first down, and I'm like, why are y'all not pressing or going on? What's going on? Like, what y'all going soft for? It was really confusing.
So, hey, do you view that as a defensive game that you can lean on because you held Seattle to 6 field goals and kept them out of the end zone, or is the memory of letting them so easily and seamlessly get down the field for that game winner?
I feel like they played good until that end. They played very good. They executed right. They made sure that Shabib and what's the other receiver? I forgot his name. But yeah, they make sure that them two don't get too hyped up because they got 2 fast receivers, and that's really hard to, especially Jackson Smith-Njigba. He's really a nice piece. Bro.
Yeah, you know what's
really
funny? He had over 100 yards receiving yesterday, I do believe, and it didn't feel like he had it until we saw it at the end.
And it didn't, and that's what confuses me. Is like if Ward or Sauce Gardner was out there, I feel like he would have had less than that. But without them two out there, we're very exposable to the defense. So any quarterback can throw to any of our corners because they're good corners, but they're not as good as them two as they are. So hopefully that this, and also Phillip Rivers, he impressed me a lot. Really did this game. He did really good, except for he can't throw 10 yards. But the game management and the reading the defense is really, really, really surprised me that game today.
Would you, Courtney? Would you start him, or would you add any other quarterback wrinkles to try to be a little bit more of a threat here or there? Is that to like Johnny high school football for Shane Steichen and company to do, or would you? Because my problem is you clearly were limited at that position getting down the field, and it's not like that is going to change, frankly, from Monday night. What would you do if you're going to start Rivers with that in mind?
Well, first off, here's my thing. We gotta understand this, that next week San Francisco going to stack that box. They definitely going to stack that box because they know that Rivers is not very mobile. I mean, I would start Rivers, but I feel like San Francisco has a game plan to shut him down because, like I said, he can't throw nothing but 8 to 10 yards. I wish they hopefully we'll see what AR can do this week, even though I'm not sure, not really, high up on that. I mean, I'm still rooting for him, but I just want to see how he do this week. And if he does good, maybe Shane Steichen might change his mind and say, well, we're going to go, even though he said Phillip Rivers is going to start Monday. But it's risky, in my opinion. It's risky when you do that for Monday's game, Monday night game. So that's all I got to say.
Courtney, hopefully I get a chance to see you again very soon, man. Thanks for calling.
Oh, you're welcome. Anytime, man.
I love this. 53 years it's been. So 1973 was the last time Sunoco had a full title sponsorship in IndyCar. Have you guys seen the livery for the Sunoco car? This is about as badass as it gets. The number 8 of Kiffin Simpson. And I know you guys probably don't care too much about that, but I did want to mention it because this car is badass looking right here. But rarely do you get something that hasn't happened since 1973. That's outstanding. And I'm sure that when's Kevin and Trackside later on this week? I'm assuming they'll be talking about that. That badass Sunoco thing looks great right there. That'll stir an echo or two for you. Not since 1973. All right, quick break. We'll come back. If you're on hold, I'll get to you. Our lone guest today asked that question of Shane Steichen regarding who's going to start at quarterback on Monday night. Shane Steichen answered the question of Stephen Holder with Phillip Rivers. Do you believe he should be? Not to mention the fact, a question about the differences between Rivers and now a medically cleared Anthony Richardson. We'll see where he is going to be as well. James, you got something for me?
Looks like Trackside is on tomorrow.
Sunoco, everybody. Man, that thing looks good. Back after 53 years in a full title sponsorship. Quick break. We shall return. That is Trackside coming up tomorrow right here on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Hellsberg gifts checked off the list. Now, time for wrapping. Earrings for Mom. A gold bracelet to match the rings Danielle wears every day. And for Dad, a new watch, because we all know he needs one. All right, this is going to be a good one.
Our favorite things for your favorite people. Shop in store at Hellsberg.com for up to 50% off.
It's Johnny for WeGrowHairIndy.com. That's 317-522-2995. Did you think it was a pipe dream, a myth, a legend? No, this is true. Your real growing hair, you can have it again. It's just a phone call away. Darren Andrews awaits. He will shape the new look. And no more hair loss for you. Just your real, and I mean real growing hair again at 317-522-2995. That's WeGrowHairIndy.com. Today.
This Christmas, get a bonus AI Essentials course when you enroll in any My Computer Career IT program by the end of the year. That's a $3,900 value. Attend classes online or on campus. Enjoy lifetime job placement support and IT certifications in high demand. Go to mycomputercareer.edu today and take the free career evaluation. That's mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner. Conditions apply to AI offer and financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the GI Bill.
1 second I'm on my bike, next second I see this car coming at me. And
I broke my left ankle in 3 places.
I decided to call Hensley.
I realized Hensley was impressive first time I spoke with my attorney.
They just kind of took that burden off my back.
It happens. Hire Hensley.
Food insecurity is an urgent problem, one that impacts real Hoosiers. You can help today. Gleaners needs donations. Your contribution goes further with Gleaners. For every $10 you give, Gleaners leverages their resources to turn your $10 into $90 worth of groceries for families who desperately need help right now. Your gift benefits local community members, and every dollar counts. Gleaners also needs volunteers now to help with warehouse distribution. Go to gleaners.org and donate or get involved today.
It happens every holiday. Food comas, piles of wrapping paper, Uncle Harold's asleep in the recliner. It's only $5.45. But then, Cousin John rolls in with holiday scratch-offs from the Hoosier Lottery. Starting at just $1, they're the perfect gift for making the most of the one time of year all 30 cousins are gathered together in one living room. Unwrap instant fun with holiday scratch-offs. Hoosier Lottery, champions of play. Must be 18 or older to play. Gift responsibly.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1 day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's four walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Marcus Morris here with Family Heating and Air. As we're reaching colder weather, you may find yourself in need of furnace service. At Family, we specialize in solutions to extend your furnace life. Call the Fix-It team from Family. You can easily reach us at familyhvac.net. From our family to yours, have a happy holiday.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's BullseyeEventGroup.com, the Colts VIP tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. Your Colts game day experience, the best it can be. Log on and get your passes now. BullseyeEventGroup.com.
The Butler Bulldogs hit the road to take on the Connecticut Huskies. Tomorrow night at 8 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
The Ride with JMV.
I love JMV. He looks like Rascal Flatts guy.
Got a cool soul patch.
He does, and a buttery smooth voice.
Oh, yeah.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
The Colts trail by 2, and Blake Grupe is on for a 60-yard field goal. He's got the leg for it. If he can make it, as we said, this would be a new career long for him. His career long prior to this kick is 57. This one from 60, as Rigoberto Sanchez is prepared to put this ball down at the 50-yard line coming up from the right hash. The crowd is making tons of noise. Let's see if young Mr. Grupe in his third year can knock down a huge field goal. Snap, placement, kick on the way. Headed downfield for the uprights. It's good! Wow! Whoa! It's good from 60. Blake Grupe! Colts on top by 1, 16 to 15. 47 seconds to go. A 60-yard field goal in Seattle. Are you kidding me?
Matt Taylor and Charles Arbuckle on the call. And I was prepared to get with my guys, Brian and Alex, at the shop in Broad Ripple and Carmel with the Groupie shirts. And then the kickoff and the lack of defense, and Myers gets a chance from 56, and that was the game winner. Our nugget of a field goal kicker should have been the hero. And I ask you this as we get to Stephen Holder and more of your calls coming up after 5. Had that been the game winner, if you were a groupie, had that been it, and you beat Seattle, would you feel differently about the quarterback situation had that been a win and not a loss? Or would you still feel in this case that it's the same circumstances because you're just too limited? And especially the magnified lack of chunk plays. At JMV 1070, tell me who you want to see. More on that on the other side, and Stephen Holder as well. Win Schuler's spreadability, you're going to find that your local Meijer location throughout the state of Indiana. Here's why, too. The elite level snacking on a cracker, a chip, a vegetable, even a burger. It is the spreadability of Win Schuler's. When you get it, take a picture, and especially if it's a place that we haven't recognized, because we're handing out love to those that give you the opportunity at the enjoyment of the spreadability. Win Schuler's spreadability. Tell them JMV sent you. Back with Stephen Holder and you in the 5 o'clock hour. Our new studios, a little north of the Monument Circle in downtown Indy with 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
The Butler basketball season is rolling along. Don't miss your chance to get in on the action. Your next chance to get to Hinkle Fieldhouse to cheer on your Butler Bulldogs is Monday, December 22nd, when the Dogs take on NJIT at 2 p.m. A weekday matinee. Come see the sunlight shine through the windows at iconic Hinkle Fieldhouse. With most students home for break, there are some great, unique seating options, so buy your tickets now at butlersports.com/buy tickets. Be a part of Hinkle Magic and make Hinkle your second home this season.
Barrington Jewels is your holiday home of the finest gifts, like breathtaking diamonds, emeralds, rubies, sapphires, and a wide selection of gemstones. Barrington also offers exquisite watch brands like Oris, Junghans, and Tutima, as well as fine pre-owned timepieces from many top brands. From watches to necklaces and pendants, earrings, or even an engagement ring, you'll find the perfect holiday gift at Barrington. Visit Barrington Jewels in Clearwater Crossing. And remember, you haven't seen a diamond until you've seen a Barrington diamond.
Got a great spot for you. In fact, not one but two. Clearwater Crossing North Side, the District Tap with damn good food. You've got happy hour specials for your Monday going on right now that you will love. What a great location, too. And, hey, just in time for the holiday season, here's what they also have at the District Tap. Event space, both private and just right out there in front of everybody. Your chance to party with your friends, your family, your office members at the District Tap at Clearwater Crossing, and also the same circumstances downtown. For example, if you've got something going on downtown, no better place to go than the District Tap. Happy hour specials, event space, just time of season is absolutely perfect for that event space with the District Tap. To find out more, it's online, including the live music that they have to offer. That's thedistricttap.com.
Baseball great Lou Gehrig was known as the Iron Horse for playing 2,130 consecutive games. But it was his reaction to his greatest challenge, the fatal diagnosis of ALS, that made Gehrig a household name and a beacon of strength for all those facing the disease. The Live Like Lou Foundation honors Lou's legacy and inspires hope for a world where ALS is no longer fatal. Donate or volunteer today at livelikeLou.org.
Hi, this is
Lloyd,
Jessica,
Robert, and Adam
from Kirby Heating and Air Conditioning in Pittsboro. The Kirby family wishes you the merriest of Christmases and happiest of New Year's. Thanks for your business. We really appreciate it. If you live in Hendricks or surrounding counties and need us, we are always here to help. Kirby services any model, and we proudly install American Standard products. Call us at 317-892-3614.
Kirby is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Happy holidays from Kirby Heating and Air Conditioning.
Family-owned Cynthia's Hallmark has gifts for everybody on your list this holiday season. One of the big sellers, the new DC UK Company ducks. These charming hand-carved bamboo root ducks with cute outfits and sweet names have been flying off the shelves. And while you're finding the perfect gift, check out the newest treasures from the Jim Shore collection. The snowman with the cardinal, absolutely heart-melting, and the Jim Shore Grinch sewing his Santa suit, with Max supervising, of course, is an instant favorite. Speaking of the Grinch, Cynthia's in Greenfield and on Allisonville Road carry the entire Grinch Light Up Village by Department 56, and yes, they also have the full Christmas Vacation Light Up Village for all you Clark Griswold fans. The beauty of willow tree figurines and ornaments are so personal and make such a memorable gift. Planning holiday parties? Don't forget my favorite, the easy-to-make award-winning Wind and Willow dips and cheese ball mixes. Your guests are going to love them. Shop family-owned Cynthia's Hallmark this holiday season. 116th and Allisonville Road, 96th and Lantern Road, 116th and Brook School Road, and in Greenfield.
Getting more as a MyLowe's Pro Rewards member is easier than ever with the Lowe's app. Download it today and earn 500 points the first time you log in. Plus, your digital wallet helps you scan, save, earn, and access what you need to manage it all in one place. Download the Lowe's app and take advantage of your Pro benefits today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid 12/1/25 through 1/7/26. Offer valid for first login per organization only. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Additional restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms for more details. Subject to change.
Price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Treat yourself with a new watch from Moyer Fine Jewelers in Carmel. They have over 20 watch brands, including Omega, Breitling, Hublot, and the Midwest best selection of pre-owned watches. Tell them JMV sent you.
From the DriveHubler.com studios, this is 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
WIBC HD2, HD3, Indianapolis.
The Ride with JMV.
Son, you got a panty on your head. Just drive fast, eh?
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Hey, welcome back. Thank you for joining us. James is over there. I'm John. New studios downtown. Twin Peaks tomorrow. Greenwood. Let's party on a Tuesday. And we're going to have a blast, I promise, tomorrow. So join me, Twin Peaks and Greenwood. 18-16 is the final, as we thought maybe Groupie would have some groupies after that make. Alas, that was not the case. Jason Myers connected from 56. That was the game winner for the Seahawks, now 11-3. The Colts fall to 8-6. Monday night, they get the Niners. And joining us on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline from ESPN and ESPN.com. We'll get back to your calls, by the way, in just a second, so sit tight on that. But Stephen Holder joins us now. You asked the question of Shane Steichen, and it was short and sweet in the answer. Phillip Rivers is indeed going to start on Monday night. Did you expect any other answer?
Oh, absolutely not. I just wanted him to be on the record, and wanted it to be put out there officially. So that was it. I knew the answer, but sometimes I ask a lot of questions to which I know the answer. That's the job.
No, I mean, I'm curious as to what you feel, because you're reporting there, but you also watch the game and have an opinion on it. While I don't blame Phillip Rivers for the loss, I think his clear quarterback limitations, which I don't think are going to get any better with San Francisco watching a week's worth of tape on him from Monday night, are going to get any better. Thus, I don't think the offense is going to be any more of a downfield threat with him. Were his limitations a part of the whole reason why we saw that L for the Colts in Seattle yesterday?
Well, I think if you look at it from this perspective, the one way I would say yes is that they needed a little more juice in the second half. They needed to get some points on the board, and they struggled to do that. I think he kept them on schedule, and he didn't make the big mistakes, and I think that's what they were kind of banking on, right? I don't know that anybody in that building thought that there would be any kind of fireworks, right? There was never that expectation. They were going to try to win ugly, and they almost did. They did it for 59 plus minutes. They played the game they wanted to play, but I'm not outraged by anything that I saw. What I would say, though, is that if you're going to play with a quarterback with those limitations, it forces you to be really good everywhere else. Okay? It just doesn't give you any margin for error, like defensively, special teams, etc. And that's where it's tough. That's just the reality. Now, the last thing I'll say is that that's also true no matter what sort of bum third string quarterback you're going to play. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not winning the game for you. You're going to have to win it with other guys. And I think that's what you saw yesterday. They fell a little bit short in doing that.
So Stephen Holder of ESPN and ESPN.com. He is on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. So the medical clearance to return, what type of wrinkle might that throw into, if anything whatsoever, with Anthony Richardson?
Well, first we need to define whatever the hell that means.
Okay.
Because I don't know that we have. That's the thing. That's if you listen to the presser today, there were, I think, maybe 3 or 4 follow-ups about Anthony Richardson, because basically what we're asking is, Shane, what are you saying? Is he clear? All right, I'll tell you what I was told. He was clear. He was medically cleared, and that he can kind of get back out there. He can get back out there, like this week. I mean, if they so choose. And I don't know what they're looking at. I don't have all the information, but I'm just telling you what I was told. He didn't commit to that. He said the conversations are underway. So I don't know what the variables are and all of that. Look, I mean, he's not playing Monday. That I don't think that's not even a conversation. I think people are kind of running wild with this idea. They hear that, and I'm not talking about you. I mean, just, readers, people on Twitter, et cetera. People hear, oh, he's cleared, and in their mind, they're like, all right, well, when's he putting the uniform on? Like, well, no, that's not on the table. He hasn't done anything for 2 months, football related for the most part. He's recently started throwing the ball, but hasn't really opened it up and cut it loose like he'll need to do when he plays. So I always figured he'd have to practice a couple weeks before they put him out there. Yeah, I know Phillip Rivers is out there off the couch with no preparation. The difference is he's doing it just based on his elite expertise, and they're accepting those shortcomings, the physical shortcomings. I think with Anthony Richardson, that's not the approach. Now, we can quibble about that, and I think it's a conversation to have. Why is there such a difference? But I also think the nature of that injury it was scary, and I think people are not completely ready to commit to going all the way with it. At least you got to get comfortable with it. So that's where they're at right now. But I'm interested to see how this goes. I don't know, to answer your question.
Would you expect him back at practice this week?
There's a chance. It's a chance. I know that Anthony wants back out there. I'll tell you that. And I think there's some value in that. Even if he doesn't play this year, I think there is a lot of value in getting him out there because the odds are high he might have to play some snaps for you if he's on this team next year. And I don't know if he will be. I have no idea what the plan is. Okay, it's way too early to speculate about that. But I think everybody wins if he gets back into the swing of things. What I mean is Anthony wins because, damn it, he needs the snaps, right? And then the Colts win because, as I said, they may need him, or at least they can evaluate him a little bit more. I mean, you got to get something out of this year. So, I mean, even if it's 2 weeks of practice, you take that, And so I think there is value to him being out there, and I think it could be a win-win, provided they pull the trigger. We'll see.
So Stephen Holder of ESPN on ESPN.com. He's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. So Phillip Rivers, could he have thrown it down the field if opportunity presented itself? Or was that offense designed as we saw it unfold? Because and I know they were close and that was great, but they still lost. And that is just not a workable and winnable offense by any stretch of the imagination in the NFL.
No, sure. You're right. Look, there's a couple factors that I'll throw out there. I think that are worth mentioning here. It was definitely deliberate to throw the ball quickly. Now, whether he can hold on to it longer in the coming weeks, I don't know. But in that game, it was deliberate. And a couple reasons why. Number one, they were trying not to get him hit. There's no question about that. And he obviously is trying to avoid getting hit, right? Because he can't escape. That's the thing. He can't step up and navigate the pocket like he used to. I mean, we saw that. He tripped over his own feet. That literally happened. And so that's one factor. The other factor is certainly arm strength is not what it was. There's no question about it. But I mean, it wasn't. He didn't have a strong arm his last year here, frankly, but it was definitely stronger than it is now. That's fair. I mean, that's to be expected. And then the other thing I would say is that when they did throw it down the field a couple times, what they had to do was they had to do it with timing. Okay, and what I mean by that is you had to do it with get off the ball quick and throw it up over the top and run up under it. And that's what they tried to do with Josh Downs on that play, I think down inside the red zone, or he threw it to him down inside the red zone. He just couldn't find the ball. And that's the problem with that is the ball's out quick. So it might be a shot play, but it's not a 7-step, take my time, drop shot play. It's a maybe 5-step, quick 5-step and cut it loose. So
and he can't. He doesn't have the arm strength to get it down the field in that much. That's the problem that you have. Because I was just like hoping for. I didn't even care if he threw a pick. I just wanted to see a jump ball to Alec Pierce a couple of times, and they didn't do that. And the biggest problem I have with this, and again, I'm not blaming that loss on Phillip Rivers, but San Francisco is going to do exactly, and it's going to be magnified even more, what Seattle did in that second half. And it's going to get ugly on Monday night with him unless you can add something else, some reasonable challenge down the field. You just can't play it like it's 1965 like this.
Oh, I mean, I agree. I mean, this is modern football, and the game is the game today, and it's very different than what we saw yesterday. Ain't no question about that. I'm not disagreeing with any of it. I think they are, if they're going to play Phillip Rivers, let's just go back to what I said earlier. If they're going to play Phillip Rivers, they have to play this close to the best game. The problem with that is, and they did do that yesterday. They fell short in doing it, but they played the game they set out to play. They didn't pull it off, right? I'm just talking about styles, right? Here's the thing. It's very hard to do that consistently. Like if they had like the, 2002 Ravens defense or something, maybe I'd feel differently. That defense played about as well as it's ever going to play yesterday.
Yep.
With the corners that you got out there.
So the offensive line, by the way, too. Yes, but you're right.
That's the other thing I meant to mention yesterday was that earlier in this conversation, which is, 2 backup tackles. That was the other factor. Like they're not hanging on.
And they have found their new right tackle for the future. To me, I know it's one game, but they found it.
I thought he might have a chance to be this guy, and I was very happy to be right about that. Like he played very well. I did not notice him, and that's a great thing. That was a great thing.
And Luke Tenuta, too, when he came in for Ryman. And he came in for Ryman. You didn't notice him either, Stephen.
I got to say, that one surprised me even more. Look, Travis, I thought, he was drafted, relatively high and had a lot of, people out there who really liked his game. But, Luke Tenuta, I mean, come on. The only reason I can pick him out of a lineup is because he's like, freakishly tall.
Exactly.
That's something. It's something.
They found their right tackle and they found their kicker too, and Blake Grupe. The little nugget of a human being came up big from 60, and outside of a faulty kickoff and faulty defense on that final play, we should be rocking T-shirts that say "I'm a groupie," but alas, that did not happen.
I agree. That it's a shame because that was the storybook ending. I wanted to write the storybook ending, man. Look, I'll be honest with you. Look, my job is to tell stories, and that was the story of a lifetime. But ultimately, though, this is not a Disney movie, and this is going to be a tough sledding here the rest of the way. It just is. I don't know what you do with any of this. We talked about this last week, right? After we knew Jones was done, I don't know what any of these games mean at this point. What are we looking at? What are we even watching, right? I think you're looking for effort. You're looking for, not getting out coached. You're looking for who's developing. You're looking for things like that. But in the grand scheme, I don't think you are learning anything about this team in the long term with backup corners, backup tackles, a quarterback off the couch after 5 years. I mean, this is not even real. What are we looking at here,
Yeah. Well, I will say this, though. They were right there. You don't win any prizes for that, and you still get tagged with an L, but they're still playing this out because they still have an opportunity, and that part I understand. I know you got to run here, but in closing, the latest on Ryman, as we saw Tenuta come in for him yesterday, and then would you be shocked if Richardson is back at practice later on this week?
Not a whole lot of information on Ryman just yet, so we just got to wait on that one. I don't want to speak prematurely because I just don't know specifics. On Richardson, I think there's a chance. I do think there's a chance this week. It has nothing to do with him playing Monday. I don't believe that's even in the conversation. They don't want to rush this. But getting back to practice, as I said earlier, I think that would be a huge step. I will leave you with this, though.
Yeah.
I personally, this is me talking, I personally think that unless it gets super ugly with Rivers, I think he'll stick with Rivers. I really do.
Well, I mean, and you know that too, because you're not going to bring him up here for a game and then bench him, or 2 games and then bench him after that. Yeah. So, I mean, that's just
and I say that for the same reason he went with Daniel Jones over Anthony Richardson, which is the trust factor. He trusted for the things that matter to Shane, and those things are not explosive athleticism, those and a big arm. Those things are execution, setting protections, all of those things. I think ultimately in that game yesterday, you saw that there is value in those things, but that value is limited too if you're without the physical. So
yeah, to be by any means necessary in the final 3, and if that means you put in some wrinkles with a different quarterback here or there. I mean, I've thought about all these like Johnny high school plays here at times. I don't know why. I mean, you jack around with trying to get him to jump off sides every other play. So why don't you just go all the way here with all this other stuff? I don't know why at this point that you wouldn't, because you played it out in the fashion in which you have with Phillip Rivers here. But I just think that if you were a little bit more of a threat at times down the field, that would open up some things, especially for Jonathan Taylor, who rushed for 87 yards yesterday and 3.5, I think, per clip. I mean, that needs to be better and has to be better.
87 yards.
I mean, it was.
It really was.
It was a long way to go. But anyway, all right, I know you got to run here. I appreciate that. We'll follow. I care. If it's not working, do something different. I don't care. If you're going to lose, and that's where you think that this team is right now, and I think a lot of you believe that to be true, I understand that, but I'm not somebody that is willing to see them go out. I mean, I would just exhaust all possibilities, and you know where I sit with the quarterback room next year. It is going to be the same as the quarterback room this year, minus Phillip Rivers and Brett Rippon. The same. I know you don't like it. Some of you may not believe it, but mark it down. The same. I know Richardson's glass, and he hasn't practiced in forever, and it's not like you'd be relying on somebody's accuracy with the arm. If you can throw it down 20 yards down the field, maybe get out of the pocket for a minute, I'd do anything. It sounds like that I'm blaming Phillip Rivers, and I'm really not blaming Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers did not cost them that game yesterday. I think I'm more looking toward what you learned from that game and then how you approach Monday night. Because you have 2 of the 3 remaining at home. And I don't want to see them fade in the fashion in which they're fading right now. Loses a 4 straight. And I know that it's not the same, and I know they're without their quarterback. But as I always say, I don't mind if you live in the moment. By all means necessary. And it all sounds stupid. There is no doubt. Quick break, we shall return. We'll get more of your thoughts on who should be QB on the game yesterday. Looking forward to that. Fernando Mendoza, your Heisman Trophy winner. Dan Wetzel joins us to discuss that and IU and the college football playoff. That is coming up tomorrow. It wasn't lost on me, IU's second half down at Rupp versus Kentucky. That was incredibly problematic. My goodness, can you value the basketball a little bit more? It's one thing not to hit shots, but the lack of value with the basketball was incredibly discouraging against a Kentucky team that stinks. And in the second half, an IU team that stunk. Purdue a winner over Marquette, but the game of the weekend, that double overtime thriller at Hinkle for you guys versus Providence. Shout out to the Dogs right there, too. I think the Dogs in Yukon coming up tomorrow night in Big East play. IU's off until, this coming weekend, I believe. And then the Boilermakers, also Auburn on Saturday is their next matchup. After that win over Marquette. Quick break. We shall return Twin Peaks tomorrow. Can you celebrate with me? Let's all join hands and have a great Tuesday at Twin Peaks in Greenwood. Ice cold beers and a hell of a time and a busy show. I shall explain coming up on the other side. The AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live and our brand new studio. Hopefully you're watching right now because every time I move, the camera follows me. If I do this like hip-hop hooray kind of thing right now, it completely freaks the camera out. It's all over the place. AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live. Text line 317-239-1070. And your calls on the inbound next to 239-1070. It's 93.5, 107.5 The Fan.
Hey there, it's Jake Query with a question for you. What are your dinner plans? Or do you even have a plan? I want you to be a hero tonight. Be a winner. Be a champion as a dinner provider. Get the Chicago's $25 medium pizza special tonight. 2 medium, 1-topping pizzas and an order of fresh hot breadsticks, all for just $25. You can pick up, delivery, dine in, DoorDash, whatever it might be. Be a winner at dinner with the $25 medium pizza family meal deal. This is not cheap, average, fast chain pizza. This is pizza with crust, handmade every day and topped generously with fresh ingredients made by local owner-operators who obsess over every slice. Add a salad, pasta, or sandwich to make any picky eater happy. Order online at chicagospizza.com. Click on your closest location and order the $25 medium pizza family meal deal. 25 is the special number, $25 medium pizza family meal deal, and 25 Indiana locations, 18 of them in Central Indiana. Make the entire family happy tonight. Even better, make yourself happy tonight with Chicago's Pizza. Chicago's Pizza, where there's a story told in every slice.
Oh, I got a great idea. That's WeGrowHairIndy.com. How many of you had a little bit of time indoors over the weekend? Maybe you recognized, you looked in the mirror and you're like, hey, I know, maybe you didn't get cleaned up. You didn't go anywhere, so maybe you didn't get cleaned up, didn't wash the hair. I know, but maybe you were just kind of lounging around and you noticed with a night's worth of sleep, all of a sudden there's an indention here and a bald spot I didn't know I have. You could be going down that path of male pattern baldness. There are a few phrases out there that dudes like us hate more than that one, male pattern baldness. We all have to go through it, but here's how you fight it. You have the option with Darren Andrews at 317-522-2995 and WeGrowHairIndy.com. If you want to sidestep male pattern baldness and you want your real growing hair, the option is there. We love, like me, I'm talking about what I would do football-wise with all the options. Exhaust them. And that's what you have at 317-522-2995. Use that and contact Darren Andrews today. That's WeGrowHairIndy.com.
Hi, I'm Lexi, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. We'll help you find last-minute gifts that don't look last-minute, even if you're still planning to propose. At Shane Company, we'll show you perfect gifts at perfect prices, in stock and ready to give. Like hand-matched diamond studs, 14-karat gold chains, or the ultimate gift, a beautiful engagement ring. We have longer store hours, so you can skip the crowds and shop when you want, or visit us at shaneco.com. Because a friend wants you to be a holiday hero. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Oh, something else you may have done inside over the weekend, too, when you were bound for the living room and the kitchen, and you didn't get too much further than that because of the weather outside. I understand that, but the unique of the high-level snackability and the spreadability of Win Schuler's original sharp cheddar bacon and cheddar and jalapeno pepper, that is going to make any snacking situation elite level. Crackers, chips, vegetables, and more. If you're wondering where you can find this gem, these tubs of the greatness, the spreadability of Win Schuler's, I'll tell you, Neiman's Harvest Market in Carmel, Gordon's Food Service, and each and every Meijer location throughout the state of Indiana. Snack at the highest of levels with Win Schuler's today.
Satch Vai Band, featuring Joe Satriani and Steve Vai. Two living legends, one band, surfing with the Hydra 2026 tour, Saturday, May 9th, Everwise Amphitheater at White River State Park, with special guest, Animals as leaders. Reserved seats are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Satch Vai Band, an electrifying sonic powerhouse, part of the Jack Daniels Concert Series.
If a Lenovo computer for your business is on your holiday list, don't shop around. Just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com. It's your last chance to get exclusive deals on the PCs you want for your business, like the ThinkPad X9 14 Aura Edition and Yoga 7i 2-in-1. So avoid all that shopping chaos and price comparing, and just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com, where PCs are up to 35% off. That's Lenovo.com.
Lenovo. You'll get more than you expect with McValue at McDonald's. Like deals on your late-night go-tos when the party goes till dawn. And savings on their faves. So date night always passes the vibe check. Plus, when the fam shows up for the weekend, you can show out for breakfast.
Enjoy a $3 sausage McMuffin with egg or egg McMuffin and pair it with a $1.49 any size Coke. Price of participation may vary, cannot be combined with any other offer.
Do you need furnace or heat pump service? Need to find a local well-trained expert you can trust, like Price Point Comfort Heating and Cooling? We'll find that independent American Standard Air dealer at IndyHomeComfort.com.
The Ride with JMV.
Hey, you gonna stare all day, or you gonna buy something? I'm gonna stare all day.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Crank it up, James, because we got a sky point to make right here. Yeah, very bad 24-hour period. You know, the disturbing and awfully sad situation in L.A. with the Reiners, Rob Reiner and Michelle Reiner. Anthony Geary of Luke and Laura fame of the 1980s on General Hospital. And keep this up, James. Carl Carlton, funk and R&B singer extraordinaire, known most of all for this song right here, James. Carl Carlton, and She's a Bad Mama Jamma. She's built, she's stacked. Damn straight she is. Sky point to Carl Carlton, James. Crank it up for me. God, this is a great song. This is a JMV Takeover special right here. James, have you heard this song before just now?
I have heard this before. I wouldn't have been able to tell you who did it or what the name of the song was, but I feel like I've heard this before.
What a great song. Carl Carlton was 72 years of age. Yeah, the Rob Reiner stuff, I was thinking about that earlier because I was kind of privy. I was up late last night, and I was kind of following that story, which is an awful story. And then people online, including the leader, makes it even worse with all the jackassery that's said. I mean, you ruin everything. I shouldn't say you not personally, but we all know somebody via social media because they're such a jackass that ruins it for everybody else. This is just a big classroom of jackasses. But I was just taken by, so much incredibly high-level entertainment that Rob Reiner provided as an actor, as a writer, as a director. It's endless. And being the son of a Hollywood legend, Carl Reiner, that's very difficult to deal with, as we have witnessed now with the tragic circumstances with Rob Reiner's son. But that's tough to be. To be, the son or the daughter of a Hollywood legend like that. I mentioned a little bit earlier, I want to say that Carl Reiner's film, The Jerk, the first ever for Steve Martin, was released yesterday. Carl Reiner put that together, and that's some comedic greatness right there. If you've not seen The Jerk, that was my first rated R movie because it was released a couple of days before my birthday is tomorrow. I'll be 56. That was my first rated R movie back in December of 1979. So I went December the 16th, 1979, to the College Mall Cinema, James, in Bloomington, Indiana, and saw my first rated R movie. And then found out exactly the type of job that Navin R. Johnson got, courtesy of his friend on the Carnival tour. Yeah, employment. But that was Carl Reiner, and his son was Rob Reiner. And you know the circumstances there. Good to see you, man. The circumstances there. But absolutely iconic and legendary. Yeah, R.I.P. The Reiners, Michelle and Rob, Carl Carlton, and Anthony Geary. And a lot of you remember that watched soap operas, certainly back in the 1980s. I was not a viewer of General Hospital, but there was no bigger thing with Luke and Laura. I mean, hell, Christopher Cross has a yacht rock classic, Thinking of Laura, that was built on that particular couple from the soap opera General Hospital. And Anthony Geary passed away earlier today. He was Luke on General Hospital. All right, 239-1070. Back to the sports of things. And, of course, the Colts, Mendoza, the Heisman Trophy winner over the weekend, too. And so much more for you. Eric is up next at 239-1070. Eric, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm great, John. How are you doing?
Great. Go ahead, Eric.
How about a little early happy birthday for you?
Thank you, brother. You got to join me tomorrow. We'll do some happy birthday shots.
That sounds like a plan. I like that. I like the sound of that.
I'm going to get a happy birthday Uber on my ride home, too. Yeah, thank you.
That sounds like a damn good idea.
It is a great idea. It's going to have to happen tomorrow for sure. But thank you very much, Eric. I appreciate you.
So, hey, I've just been wondering. I was listening to Jake a little earlier, and he was talking to Bob Kravitz and Chappell, as he normally does, and he kind of posed a little question to them about if the Colts were going to vanilla up the offense, was his terminology, and play it safe, run the ball, give it to JT, because Phillip Rivers was there. Why wouldn't they have used Riley Leonard in that case? I mean, at least he gives them some mobility. He's got an arm that hasn't lost its, atrophied up over 5 years, and he doesn't have any arm strength. And the question you want to know is, and they all said, well, the Colts felt and still feel going into Monday night that Phillip Rivers gives them the best chance to win.
They do.
But nobody has said why Riley Leonard doesn't give them the best chance to win.
They don't trust him.
And
they don't trust him to make the decision. I think it all starts with their point of view is they trust Rivers to lead this team offensively and to make the right decisions. They don't trust Riley Leonard. And again, he is just a rookie. However, when it was put to me about, Rivers, and it is costly because he has limitations, is, maybe you need multi-quarterback wrinkles. I mentioned this last night, and people think I'm nuts, and I understand why they think I'm nuts, because it is a dumbass idea. But as I mentioned before, any port in a storm, I think you have to exhaust all options. And if Rivers is the guy you trust, but we have seen he's incapable of getting chunk yardage down the field, are there ways and means you can utilize others? And, that's where all of a sudden I brought up Anthony Richardson. Okay, so he may not be ready, but to me, you can't be as boxed in offensively as they clearly were yesterday, because not only you were close, and that's great, but will the defense and the offense play most of that game as they did yesterday on Monday night at a similar level? And then San Francisco is going to see all this and digest it and say, just like Seattle did in the second half, you know what? You guys can't throw it down the field. We are going to suffocate you offensively right here. That's what the Seahawks did in the second half, and that's what concerns me. That's why I say, I don't know if there is a lot of really wild-ass bad ideas at this point for this team. I mean, you're 8-6, you're reeling. Like I said, exhaust all options. At least I would.
I mean, Riley Leonard is. Notre Dame, so he's a smart dude. He's got the athletic ability. He played in the national championship game last year. He's got some big game experience. Put him out there. See what he can do next year. Use it.
Well, I don't even care if I'm fine. You're going to go with Rivers, and that's fine. But I just think you have to add a little bit more, and I'm sure that they won't, and they'll play this per usual. But I think it's going to be a mistake. And I think San Francisco will take advantage of it. And listen, they may end up losing anyway, and maybe that's just where we are. But I just thought it was clear yesterday what you didn't have, and that was major costly and why you lost that game. Sure, the bad kickoff after the grouping make from 60, and then the bad defense letting them go down the field. But it was also the fact that you didn't do anything offensively in the second half. Seattle was onto your program, and then San Francisco is going to be defensively even more onto it. Again, I would exhaust all options if I were Shane Steichen right now. Do I think he will do that? Probably not. I mean, he thinks he can outsmart the room anyway, so this would be the ultimate outsmarting of the room right here. But it's just clear to me that this offense is going to be limited with Rivers out there, and if that's who you trust and that's who you're going with, you have to think, I think, of other means and measures to take on Monday night against San Francisco.
Got to do something to shake it up.
What else you got, Eric?
That was what was on my mind. Been on my mind since yesterday.
I appreciate you, man. Eric, thank you very much for the call.
Enjoy your day tomorrow, John.
I can't wait. Tomorrow, Peter Billingsley, 4:30 tomorrow. They're going to change up that time again. I'm mentioning this about 19 different times, I think. Ralphie from A Christmas Story. And I will call the Murat, and my friend Jimi Hendrix, I believe, is going to have some tickets. They're having a screening of the 1983 Christmas classic, A Christmas Story, at the Murat Egyptian Room on Thursday. And Peter Billingsley, Ralphie, is going to be there to watch with you and for a Q&A after. Peter Billingsley had an incredible career as a young actor and then kind of disappeared. If you remember, Peter Billingsley was also Messy Marvin and a host of Hershey chocolate syrup commercials back in the 80s. Actually, late 70s and early 80s. But when they offered Peter Billingsley up, I thought, yeah, really? He never does anything media-wise. He's going to join us at 4:30 coming up tomorrow. Dan Wetzel talks college football and the Heisman Trophy winner Fernando Mendoza conversation, plus the college football playoff. And I think I got to check with my guys. I think from IU, I think this is an Isaiah Jones week. The defensive player that was so good in that Big Ten title game against Ohio State. I think Isaiah Jones is going to join us coming up later on this week, though. So tomorrow, Twin Peaks in Greenwood. Thursday on the road at Coach's Tavern downtown. That's a Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila Shots Thursday. And coming at you on Friday, back there again, we're on Pendleton Pike. I don't think we went to that location a year ago. I think we hit up the Southport location. But Whiskey Business, one of our favorites. Pendleton Pike, Bud Light Blue Friday, Monday Night Football tickets. On Friday, we are going to be at Whiskey Business on Pendleton Pike. I'll also have some bullseye passes for you later on this week as well. So sit tight for that, especially for Monday. And Kyle Cadet wanted me to remind you they have Rose Bowl tickets. So if you're looking for Rose Bowl tickets, bullseyeeventgroup.com. I'll remind you of that and give you a chance to win passes coming up on tomorrow's show and the rest of the week as well. The Stream the App, HD Radio, AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live. And by the way, let us know how you're thinking about the new studio. I think it's great. I absolutely love it here. New studio for the first time for me during this show in here. You can check that out. AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live and tell us what you think. Tell us what you think about the Colts quarterback play, not only yesterday, but who should be getting some snaps coming up on Monday night against Frisco. We'll do that with you coming up on the other side, closing out the show. The Stream the App, HD Radio, AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live. It's 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Welcome to Wawa. We're open 24/7, so when the sun goes down but everyone's still up, Wawa has your late night fuel. Headed to a hangout? Stop in for snacks and sodas. Binge your favorite shows with burgers and hoagies. gather around the table with garlic knots and a cheesy Wawa pizza. Or just chill on the couch with fries and whatever milkshake sounds good. Your night just got a whole lot tastier. Freshly made burgers, pizza, and so much more. When you got a late night craving, you got a Wawa. Price and participation may vary by store.
Hensley Legal Group is one of those firms that puts the client above all else.
We pride ourselves in caring and communication. We're extremely passionate about helping them through their tough times. We truly want to see our clients get better.
It happens. Hire Hensley.
When the new year hits, every business could use a little something to stay ahead. A lift, a jump start, an edge, or perhaps a boost. Like the all-new 5-year business boost from Comcast Business. It's the certainty of a price lock for 5 years on qualifying internet bundles. Plus, you'll have the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment, so your whole team can stay connected at a great rate. And to sweeten the deal, ask about a $500 prepaid card when you add 2 lines of mobile. It's the boost your business deserves. So sign up for the 5-year business boost and get a 5-year price lock on ultra-reliable Wi-Fi. Plus, ask about a $500 prepaid card. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 2/22/26, new customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees. Best Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Get ready to hoop. It's back. Time to try your skills at Night Owls Thursday, December 18th with the fans' very own Jake Query from 7:30 to 9:30 with Michelob Ultra's Mini Hoops Challenge. Michelob Ultra Mini Hoops Challenge gives you a chance to win a Michelob Ultra basketball jersey and punch your ticket to the Mini Hoops Finals, where a trip to see Indiana versus Milwaukee in Milwaukee on February 6th is on the line, complete with a hotel gift card and $100 Visa gift card. Visit 1075thefan.com today to see all the locations and details.
Hellsberg gifts checked off the list. Now, time for wrapping. Earrings for mom. A gold bracelet to match the rings Danielle wears every day. And for dad, a new watch, because we all know he needs one. All right, this is going to be a good one.
Our favorite things for your favorite people. Shop in store at Hellsberg.com for up to 50% off.
Food insecurity is an urgent problem, one that impacts real Hoosiers. You can help today. Gleaners needs donations. Your contribution goes further with Gleaners. For every $10 you give, Gleaners leverages their resources to turn your $10 into $90 worth of groceries for families who desperately need help right now. Your gift benefits local community members, and every dollar counts. Gleaners also needs volunteers now to help with warehouse distribution. Go to gleaners.org and donate or get involved today.
Four Winds South Bend's Ribbontown Event Center will be transformed into a night of glitz and glamour for a New Year's Eve party to remember. Enjoy live entertainment featuring DJ Jellyfish and Naughty, party favors, appetizers, and a cash bar. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. Dress to impress and ring in 2026 with a party at Four Winds South Bend. Your entertainment escape.
With Wawa's Rewards program, you can rack up points on the items you buy every day, even fuel. Boost your totals with a breakfast sizzly. Score points with your morning coffee. With Wawa Rewards, points put the power in your hands. You can choose to redeem them for what you love most, like an iced latte for an extra pick-me-up or your lunchtime hoagie. Download the Wawa app today. When you gotta get rewarded, you gotta Wawa. Fuel rewards not available in New Jersey or were legally prohibited. See full details at wawarewards.com. Price and participation may vary by store.
Jake Query here. Each weekday noon to 3, guests appear live on the Java House Peel and Pour guest line. Use code JAKE25 at javahouse.com to save 25% on your first order.
The Ride with JMV.
If anybody needed a victory, get the off the racetrack! You stupid son of a. I think we have to start again.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Oh, we miss you, Robin Miller. Sky Point and an RP to one of our favorites lost last night in Rob Reiner. Not only one of my favorite films, but my kids' favorite film. You know, to have multi-generational impact, how difficult that is. I mean, look at me. I'm like pigeonholed into like 3 years of the 1980s, and that's about it. But just an incredibly awful, a sad, however you want to describe it, story that started last night or yesterday afternoon, in fact, in Southern California, in Brentwood, California, at the home of Rob and Michelle Reiner. Stand By Me from 1986. Now, we'll say this. This was my 1987 prom song. That was.
Stand By Me?
Yeah, and it's not like I don't mind that song, but that's not prom song stuff.
Yeah.
It's not.
I agree.
I was actually on the prom committee, and for whatever reason, it's not like anybody wanted to listen to my musical influences as possibilities, but I had two songs that I had said these should be our prom songs, our prom dance songs. Shake You Down by Gregory Abbott and Love You Down by Ready for the World.
I think it's impressive that you still remember this because
because it pisses me off is why. I'm still pissed.
My prom was far more recently than yours, and
Yeah.
I could not, gun to my head, I could not tell you what was played that day.
No, yeah, Benny King and Stand By Me, that version was played in 87. And in 88, I swear to the worst was because everybody was in love with Dirty Dancing. I had the time of my life. No.
Not a fan of that one?
No, I mean, come on. I wanted to get into some really good, slow, jamish R&B. I mean, Can You Stand the Rain by New Edition when Heartbeat came out? I mean, why couldn't we have done that? I mean, I had all these great ideas, and I got outvoted by that.
Is this what led to you doing the JMV takeover? Is this long-held grudge about this?
This is what's led to me, and this could be incredibly wrong, but I happen to think among those that select and DJ up music, I think that there are very few out there that are better than I about doing that. Seriously.
I mean, you're probably not wrong.
And I'm talking about programmers from radio stations from here across the country. You guys, and I know you guys wouldn't want to, but you couldn't hold my jock. I don't blame you if you don't want to.
That's an image.
There's just no way. Because, especially with 3 decades in mind, 70s, 80s, and 90s, yeah, I do get cloudy into the 2000s. But with those particular 3 decades, there is nobody, and I mean different genres, all genres, there's zero competition. I feel very confident in stating that, making that claim. But, yeah, the Rob Reiner story is one of great sadness because he did bring us so much from All in the Family to writing, directing, acting. That is a incredibly sad and certainly iconic loss. Danny writes this: did you know that the Mutt is closing its doors on January the 1? I did, and I wanted to give a shout-out. Mike Manley's one of my favorite all-time dudes, and also 10th and Shadeland at Manley's Irish Mutt, one of my favorite all-time places. And it is true, it is closing. And with that, that makes me sad. But we've talked about that certainly before. And as Mike Manley told me via text, they had a tremendous run. But we are going to miss Manley's Irish Mutt. I know Jack Doyle will, the former Colts tight end too. But we're going to miss the Mutt a great deal. But a job well done, everybody over at 10th and Shadeland, and in particular Mike Manley. Just a great guy, a great atmosphere, and we need more like that, not less. We need to be able to sustain places like that around here. Not see them eliminated. Shane Steichen said earlier today that Phillip Rivers' ability to lead a more vertical offense is something he believes in. So, hey, maybe this conversation, this dialogue I've had for you today is unnecessary. Maybe they'll find a niche to be able to get those chunk plays, to be able to get it down the field. Phillip Rivers is your starting quarterback on Monday night as the Colts next up host San Francisco. Anthony Richardson is medically cleared. Now, we still don't know. We talked to Stephen Holder a little bit earlier, that podcast at 1075thefan.com. We don't really know what that means, according to Stephen, but he has been cleared medically. Whether or not that means he returns to practice or is going to be an option before the end of this season, we shall see. And the playoff hopes for the Colts, they still have it if they win 2 of the final 3. I know what you feel. I know how you're feeling about this 8-6 group right now, but it does still remain that they have options. Oh, I love it. JMV, thank you very much. You are so not over-tooting your horn on being the best DJ out there. My wife and I absolutely love Saturday night in the summer with the convertible top down, just jamming to what you spin. There you go. Hey, I don't get the opportunity to do that very much, but if you have a station out there and you want people to, I'll program that bad boy for you, let me tell you. 3 decades, but I'll program it for you. Dan Wetzel tomorrow talks about the phenomenon that is Fernando Mendoza, the great speech, the Heisman Trophy win, and then the Hoosiers in the college football playoff. Dan Wetzel, oh yeah, maybe even Michigan's head coaching search too. Speaking of soap operas, that one up there. Woo! Sharon Moore. Dan Wetzel tomorrow. Peter Billingsley, Ralphie from A Christmas Story. Live screening at the Mirar Old National Center inside the Egyptian Room on Thursday. Ralphie, Peter Billingsley, the actor, joins us on the show tomorrow. Greg Rakestraw, too, live from Twin Peaks. I'm going to turn 56, and we're all going to have a hell of a time doing that tomorrow. Twin Peaks in Greenwood. We start at 3. James, great job out of you. Stephen Holder, callers, listeners, the new studio. Thank you all. Colts Roundtable coming at you next.
When it comes to restoring your hair and your confidence, picking the right team.